The scene opens at a sect with endless mountains and drifting clouds, as several female disciples greet a man, respectfully calling him Master Ying. Suddenly, another woman taps the girl's head, reminding her not to address him carelessly. Since leaving the mountain, Master Ying's fame has spread far and wide. He leaves no survivors in battle, surpasses peers, defeats stronger foes across realms, and is hailed as the era's top prodigy. Now an elder, he should be called Elder Yi. The man chewing grass and carrying a fishing rod is Yi, formerly Master Ying. His gaze darkens as he reflects that his flawless victories aren't due to strength, but something else. Looking at a young man and several cats, each marked with countdowns 19 days for the youth and hundreds for the cats, Yi realizes he can see the end of all lives. Ye warns the youth that bullying the weak brings consequences, secretly planning to fight at the destined moment so fate eliminates his foe while he gains the fame. The still angry youth continues shooing the cats, while Ye muses that this fate-seeing ability may not be a blessing. Everyone behind him also bears unbelievable countdown numbers. In 25 years, a mysterious calamity will annihilate all life, even the sun and moon, precisely shown as 9-125 days on his interface. For 5 years, he has wandered seeking sages to understand the end of the Dharma age, yet found no answers. Since the system's numbers have never been wrong, he decides to calmly accept the inevitable. He stops before a house and greets his master, whose own countdown appears as 9-125 days, 4 hours, and 21 minutes. Entering, Yi serves tea and politely asks his master the purpose of his visit. Thinking his master will outlive him by a century, Yi wonders if discussing the apocalypse might reveal a solution, as his master admits he has matters to discuss. Smiling, the master explains that the 5 great sects will compete for a treasure at Linguan, and hopes Yi will help Jushin Pavilion claim first place. Yi feels wary, thinking absurd that major sects still fight as doomsday approaches. He declines, saying he has more important matters to attend to. Remaining calm, the master agrees to refuse on his behalf, and Yi thanks him for his understanding. The master then brings over a child named Shinshui and asks her to greet her senior brother, leaving Ye surprised. The petite girl introduces herself as Shinshui, and the master reveals she is his new disciple, joking that her talent rivals Ye's. Ye smiles politely, yet thinks that with only 25 years left, even great talent cannot escape the inevitable end. His thoughts halt when he sees her lifespan of 99,999 days, causing him to spit out his tea in shock. He is stunned, wondering why her lifespan surpasses the apocalypse and how she could survive when the world perishes. Noticing Ye's stare, Shinshui shyly lowers her head, while he smiles and plans to privately investigate her mysterious nature. Ye suddenly changes his mind and tells his master he will go to Linguan to seize the treasure, surprising the old man. Ye insists he must lead the mission, secretly plotting to keep his junior sister Shinshui close for further observation. His master refuses, and Ye immediately asks why. The master explains that Elder Wenjian, the sect leader's top expert, traditionally leads the Linguan expedition, and replacing him with a junior would offend him. After hearing this, Yu silently walks outside, leaving his master puzzled. He takes out a long spear and mutters, "Elder Wenjian, is it?" Drawing the weapon back, he lowers his stance as if preparing to throw it. The master's face changes as he urgently shouts for Yu to stop. Before the warning finishes, the spear is hurled, tearing through the air with terrifying force toward a predetermined direction. Its target is a house ahead, the distance shrinking at astonishing speed. In the blink of an eye, the spear reaches its destination. The spearhead pierces straight through the closed door. Inside, 2 people are seated when the door explodes open, the noise echoing everywhere. One person leaps up angrily, shouting, "Who dares attack Wenjian Pavilion?" Amid the dust, a hand gripping the spear shaft gradually appears. Yeyu steps forward with a faint smile, apologizing for his rude intrusion. The other man laughs and greets him warmly, noting it has been 5 years since they last met, while someone behind silently fumes about the destroyed roof. Yu respectfully asks the sect leader to grant him the position of team-leading elder for the Linguan expedition. The sect leader hesitates, pleased with Yu's ambition but uncertain about the request. Glancing at Elder Wenjian, he suggests seeking his opinion, while Wenjian internally fumes at the blatant disrespect. Wenjian praises Yu's rising fame yet releases a surge of spiritual power. A sword condenses in his hand as he remarks that all elders of Jushin Pavilion are similarly capable. His imposing aura spreads, prompting nearby disciples to whisper that Yeyu has recklessly provoked his master. The sect leader does not intervene, intending to gauge Yu's progress, subtly signaling Wenjian to proceed carefully. Wenjian assures him he will only teach Yu a small lesson about humility. Facing him, Yu calmly invites the elder to make the first move out of respect for his seniority. The atmosphere falls silent as Wenjian trembles with suppressed anger. Raising his sword, he shouts, "Insolent Junior!" A sword formation erupts as countless blades take shape. Disciples excitedly recognize the technique 100 Swords Heavenly Lock. Observers soon notice 9 swords forming, realizing Wenjian has reached the 9th level of mastery. The sect leader cautions him not to use his full strength. Wenjian laughs, mocking youthful arrogance. Declaring he will teach Yeyu a lesson, the 9 swords surge forward, shattering the ground, yet Yeyu remains motionless. The attack passes through Ye's previous position and continues to pierce the house behind, racing onward. Its momentum persists, destroying multiple structures and leaving devastation in its wake. Thick dust rises, marking the extensive destruction caused by the overwhelming power. The sect leader frowns with concern, while Wenjian laughs, hoping Yeyu remains unharmed despite his accidental excess. The disciples are shaken, believing the immense power has likely doomed Yeyu. As the dust settles, the tip of a spear emerges first, causing both Wenjian and the sect leader to freeze in shock. Yeyu appears unharmed, standing in an intact spot amid a massive crater, leaving the disciples utterly stunned. He calmly looks at his opponent and asks if the elder has yet to make a move. Though harmless, his words weigh heavily on the atmosphere, embarrassing Elder Wenjian and the sect leader alike. Gripping his spear, Yu's aura surges as he declares he will strike first. Elder Wenjian raises his sword, preparing to respond. Suddenly, Yu vanishes and reappears behind him, his gaze flashing with killing intent. Executing the move Heavenly Thrust, his spear shoots forward at an inescapable speed. Facing the attack, Wenjian senses overwhelming danger and can only tighten his lips. In the next moment, he withdraws and tells the sect leader he has caught a cold, yielding the leadership role to the younger generation, leaving the sect leader speechless. As Wenjian retreats, Yu departs while pondering numerous questions. Curious, Shinshui asks what was said. The master explains that Wenjian is ill, and Yu will lead the team, prompting her to jokingly question how a heavenly venerate could catch a cold. In a world plagued by demons, a mysterious force once dominated using exquisite artifacts and fortified cities to resist all races. For unknown reasons, they angered the heavenly Tao, bringing down divine punishment in the form of an endless spiritual storm. Their cities were ultimately erased, and their civilization faded into oblivion, while the storm has persisted for 1,000 years. Yu recounts his history to Shinshui, explaining that the storm-stricken land is now called Linguan, astonishing her. She asks why they must go if it is so dangerous, and Yu replies that he has personal motives. Because the area has been shrouded in a spiritual storm for a millennium, pure spiritual energy crystals have formed within its dense core. These crystals can awaken a being's potential, making cultivation far easier. With sufficient resources, a moderately talented cultivator could achieve in months what others require a lifetime to accomplish. The storm briefly calms once every 100 years. During this window, major forces send people to collect the crystals, making it the most significant opportunity for cultivators each century. Yu invites Shinshui to witness the ancient ruins, noting that missing this chance means waiting another 100 years. Shinshui eagerly agrees but hesitates, worried that her low cultivation level may be inadequate. Yu laughs confidently, stating that as the team leader of Jushin Pavilion, he can decide the roster and easily take her along. Delighted, Shinshui thanks him warmly, while Yu secretly resolves to bring her regardless of her wishes. After 5 fruitless years searching for answers to the apocalypse, he cannot ignore this rare clue. Combining the mysteries of Linguan with his accumulated knowledge, he hopes careful observation will reveal why she can survive the world-ending disaster. With this in mind, he offers to share cultivation guidance and reaches out to examine her meridians. He gently places 2 fingers on Shinshui's wrist. Instantly, countless bloodred visions flood his mind. A gigantic eye opens and stares directly at him. Startled, he wonders whether it is an illusion or an actual attack. Within the vision, he sees laughing figures with crimson eyes and corpses hung on sharp hooks. Further ahead, a familiar figure appears, his master now gravely injured, prompting Yu to wonder who caused this atrocity. A mysterious hand appears, leaving Yu bewildered as he wonders whether the vision is someone's memory or a glimpse of the future. Suddenly, a sword slash decapitates his master. Yu stands frozen, eyes wide in disbelief at the horrifying sight. More blood-soaked hands emerge, tearing something apart, revealing countless crimson gazes staring at him. Corpses litter the ground, some laughing madly, others dead with eyes still open. A man with an indistinct face sits above, a massive sword resting beside him. His lips move as if speaking, unable to hear clearly. Yu demands to know his identity and what just happened. Everything abruptly vanishes, and Yu returns to reality, still shaken with his hand frozen in place. Looking down, he finds his hand covered in blood. He raises his hand to wipe his mouth. He cries out in horror. Staggering back, he breathes heavily and stares outward in alarm. Turning to Shinshui, he demands an explanation for what he witnessed. He directly questions her identity, confronting his junior sister. Shinshui's gaze turns cold and the surrounding space begins to crack like shattered glass. She calmly asks how much longer she has left to live. With steady composure, she inquires about her remaining time. Yu becomes flustered and denies knowing, but Shinshui insists that he himself once told her. She explains that his strength comes from a system enabling him to see others' end times, meaning he has long known about the apocalypse. Yu is inwardly shaken, realizing she not only knows but understands far more than expected. Sitting down, he reveals that her fate differs from others, with a lifespan extending to 999 days, far beyond the world's remaining 25 years. He presses her for answers about the visions and her true identity. Shinshui simply claims to be an ordinary person who is merely a bit luckier than most. She recounts that her parents were ordinary with no cultivation talent, and tests by Jushin Pavilion confirmed she had no affinity for cultivation. When catastrophe struck, countless mortals perished, but Jushin Pavilion sheltered survivors, where she first glimpsed Liu. Even mortals had to contribute, and she was fortunate to accompany Yu, repeatedly surviving near-death situations thanks to others' help. Wherever Yu appeared was the most perilous battlefield, yet he always turned the tide and became a pillar of hope. Eventually, Yu discovered the truth and used divine power to send her back 25 years into the past, creating a chance to change the doomed future. Hearing this, Yu regards her with skepticism, prompting Shinshui to express irritation and insist that her story is true. Comparing her current demeanor with his initial impression, Yu notices her familiarity, while Shinshui adds that her newfound top-tier cultivation talent is proof of what he left behind. She urges him to believe her, and Yu agrees, acknowledging that the extraordinary evidence is difficult to deny. He then asks about the true enemy and what action should be taken now. Shinshui reveals that the enemy is the gods, and that Linguan is a trap they left behind. Living beings cultivate to survive and cannot ignore the valuable crystals within Linguan. However, using these crystals secretly binds one's soul to the gods, ultimately turning cultivators into their controlled instruments. To save the world, they must first sever or neutralize this bond and stop all beings from using the crystals. Hearing this, Yu clutches his head, admitting he has used many crystals, and decides to search for solutions upon arriving at Linguan. Shinshui explains that even when he reached that supreme realm in their past life, he found no answer, but knowing the future 25 years in advance now offers hope. Besides that method, she mentions there is another path. Since the gods need 25 years to destroy all races, they must unite forces through alliances, friendships, or even marriage to stand a chance. Yu agrees with the logic but admits the task is immense and difficult to begin. Shinshui hints that a clear target is already close at hand. She identifies the Grand Princess of Great Xia, the Sword Immortal Shikayu, as the ideal first ally. Shinshui recalls that Shiakaya's affection for Yu was obvious, though set aside during the impending disaster, and believes rekindling it now would be easy, leaving Yu momentarily speechless. Yu admits he has only heard of Shiakayu and plans to seek an opportunity to meet her during the upcoming Linguan expedition. Shinshui stops him, insisting that waiting is too slow given the ticking countdown. Yu asks if she remembers Shiakaya's preferences or reasons for her affection toward him. She awkwardly explains that her memories are fragmented and can only be triggered by related encounters. Concluding that meeting her directly is the best approach, they set off. While walking through the streets, Shinshui suddenly pauses. Surprised by the bustling crowd, she wonders if a festival is taking place, and Yu explains it is due to the Linguan expedition. Lowering his hat, Yu notes that many rogue cultivators seek passage on Great Shia's ships, prompting Shinshui to ask why he changed his attire. Yu explains that Jushin Pavilion and Great Xia are not allied, and approaching the princess directly without formal notice would complicate matters. His gaze settles on a particular place, and a faint smile appears. It is the Imperial Banquet Tower, where he decides to gather information before entering with Shinshui. Inside, an array of delicious dishes, sweet and sour ribs, buns, roasted chicken are displayed. Shinshui appears bewildered, clearly unfamiliar with such indulgence. Noticing this, Yu asks if she had never tried these foods in her previous life. She shakes her head, explaining that survival took priority, making a proper meal a rare luxury. Her eyes remain fixed on the food, unable to hide her curiosity. Yu gently pulls her along, promising to make up for lost experiences and guiding her toward the buffet. Before them stands a towering display of dishes. Shinshui can hardly tear her gaze away. Yu requests a quiet VIP seat from the attendant, who hesitates due to prior reservations while Shinshui remains absorbed in the food. Without further words, he places a silver ingot into her hand. Then he adds another, remarking that it is merely money. They are soon escorted upstairs to a table overlooking the hall, where Shinshui begins browsing the menu. Seeing the prices, she hesitates and comments that the place seems expensive. Yu responds by ringing the service bell instead of answering. He instructs the staff to bring an initial spread of dishes, with more to follow if needed, leaving Shinshui stunned. Smiling, he explains that while he knows girls love sweets, she must taste them to discover her favorites. Yu places a pouch of money on the table, telling Shinshui to order anything she likes without hesitation. Shinshui's eyes light up with excitement as Yu stands and walks outside. Inside the Imperial Banquet Tower, the atmosphere remains lively with a constant flow of guests. Yu leaves the tower, greeted by the same bustling streets. He deduces that although Great Xia is powerful, its foundation is weaker than Jushin Pavilion, so it recruits rogue cultivators for Linguan expeditions, an avenue likely connected to Princess Shiakayu. His gaze settles on a solitary drinker with refined attire and calm demeanor, clearly someone from whom useful information might be obtained. Approaching, Yu politely suggests sharing a drink, citing their chance encounter. The man smiles and tells him to speak directly instead of beating around the bush. Yu admits he is a rogue cultivator seeking a spot on Great Xia's airship for the Linguan expedition and asks for assistance. The man replies that boarding requires sufficient strength, as mere words would only lead to disaster in Linguan. Yu presents an exquisite bottle of wine as a gesture, hoping for guidance. The man is startled by the dense spiritual energy within the wine, doubting that an ordinary rogue cultivator could possess such a treasure. He pours himself a cup and tastes it. His face flushes with satisfaction before he invites Yu to follow him. As they pass guarded areas, Yu notices the man's unrestricted access to the military camp, confirming his extraordinary status. Soon a group of soldiers stops them. A stern voice calls out, demanding why Wushuang has brought someone inside. The speaker is a sword-wielding woman who reprimands him for bringing a stranger into the busy camp before the Linguan expedition. With a cold gaze, she orders them to leave immediately, emphasizing that the camp is not a place for casual visitors. Wushuang hurriedly explains the misunderstanding, while Yu confidently states that only sufficient strength should be required. Smiling, he asks when the assessment can begin. The three enter a room and sit facing each other as the woman introduces herself as the examiner. A sword materializes and plunges into the ground. She declares that if Yu can withstand 3 of her moves, he will earn a place on Great Shia's airship. Yu inwardly chuckles, recognizing this as a straightforward test of strength. He nods respectfully and prepares for battle. The woman watches him intently, thinking his calm demeanor will soon vanish. No sooner does the thought arise than she attacks, instantly closing the distance. Yu calmly tracks her movements, remaining unshaken despite her swift assault. Confident of victory, she thrusts forward with sword-like fingers. Yu merely shifts slightly, effortlessly neutralizing the attack. Losing balance, she stumbles forward, and Yu quickly steadies her by holding her arm. He smiles gently, remarking that he has yielded. The woman immediately regains her stance. Her eyes flash with irritation as she insists that blocking the first move is nothing to boast about. Declaring that true skill lies in withstanding the second move, she launches another decisive and fluid attack. A surge of flames erupts toward Yu, yet he remains motionless, showing no intention of evading. Smiling faintly, he remarks that the move is flashy but superficial, then raises his hand at a speed, leaving after images. Suddenly, Yu's eyes reveal a hint of surprise. The girl has leapt into the air and instantly appears before him. He realizes it is a fusion of illusion and reality, causing his movement to pause momentarily. Their palms collide in the next instant. Flames scatter in all directions as the two remain locked in confrontation. The shockwave sends the youth Wushwang flying, though he manages to cling to a nearby pillar while shouting in alarm. The impact triggers a chain of explosions behind them, yet the girl remains standing with her arm extended forward. She begins to feel wary, noticing that Yeyu stands firm as if completely unaffected. Yeyu also evaluates her immense internal power, concluding her background must be extraordinary, and respectfully praises her strength while apologizing for any earlier discourtesy. The girl responds coldly, dismissing flattery and demanding his true purpose, questioning why someone of his ability would need to board Great Shia's ship to obtain King Linguan. Yeyu hesitates, and she warns that if he cannot explain, he should leave, as Great Shia's ship does not accept people casually. He decides honesty may be the best approach. Yeyu admits that he wishes to see the renowned Grand Princess Xia Kaiyu, the famed sword immortal admired throughout the realm for her beauty and peerless swordsmanship. He explains that for an unknown rogue cultivator like himself, even a fleeting glimpse of such an unattainable figure would be a lifelong consolation, and this rare opportunity is worth seizing. When she questions whether admiration alone justifies this, Yeyu adds that if their relationship could progress further, he hopes she might recommend him. Placing her hand on her sword hilt, the girl acknowledges his eloquence and strength, agreeing to grant him a chance. She instructs him to choose a suitable weapon and declares that if he withstands her third move, she will personally recommend him to Princess Xia Kaiyu, drawing her sword with a faint smile. Yu thanks her while secretly deducing that she must be close to Xia Kaiyu and could provide valuable information, though his expression subtly darkens. As the girl begins channeling her technique, exuding calmness while flames gather around her, Yu is momentarily stunned. A slight smile appears on her lips, signaling the completion of her technique and her absolute confidence in victory. Yu widens his eyes, unable to hide his astonishment. Shouting, "Receive this!" She thrusts her sword toward Yu, the surging force pressing heavily upon him. Wushwang turns pale and cries out in shock. As the blade closes in, Yu hastily raises a staff to block, sweat forming on his forehead. Upon impact, a thunderous explosion erupts, flames soar, and dust fills the air, shaking the surroundings. The staff in Yi's hand is knocked away, flying toward Wushwang. Yu praises her, acknowledging her as worthy of being an instructor of the Great Xia dynasty. Thrown backward and landing on the ground, he admits his defeat. The girl maintains her cold gaze as Yu adds that her third move far exceeded his expectations and was impossible to withstand even with full strength. Rising, he walks toward Wushwang and sheepishly apologizes for the trouble, to which Wushwang responds lightheartedly. As Yu begins to leave, the girl's voice suddenly calls out from behind, ordering him to stop. The mention of meeting Princess Xia makes Yu pause, blurting out a puzzled "huh." He laughs, admitting defeat with humor, saying his skills simply aren't up to par. Before he finishes speaking, the girl presents a golden sachet, leaving him stunned. Blushing slightly, she softly explains that the sachet is a vital token for meeting the princess aboard the Linguan ship. After handing it over, Yu accepts with a smile, thanking the Great Xia instructor respectfully. The scene shifts dramatically back to the bustling Dian pavilion. Yeyu frowns subtly, looking troubled by something he has just witnessed. Before him stands a mountain of dishes stacked like an edible skyscraper. Shinshui, belly round with food, greets him cheerfully, and Yeyu teases her impressive appetite. The innocent girl asks if he has heard of the Xiling of Dian Pavilion. Yeyu finds the name familiar as Shinshui explains it's a top-floor hot spring that boosts spiritual energy and physique. Surprised, Yeyu asks if she wants to try, but she sighs that it's fully booked today. Yeyu grins, declaring that anything worth doing should be done immediately. Though tempted, Shinshui hesitates about being discovered, but Yeyu assures her he'll keep watch and ensure a stealthy escape. He hands her the sachet, and she asks curiously what it is. Yeyu explains with a smile that it's a cultivation-aiding sachet essential for beginners and enhances spiritual absorption in the spring. Shinshui approaches the spring and carefully places the sachet beside it. She slips into the water, exclaiming in delight at the soothing comfort. Yi's warning echoes in her mind that the optimized sachet and powerful spring require caution. Determined, she resolves not to waste this rare opportunity, especially with Yi's specially prepared gift. She dives deeper, vying to meet his expectations while pondering his surprisingly thoughtful nature. Outside, Yeyu keeps watch, realizing her strong will may influence her future path between spell cultivation and body cultivation. Suddenly, a system notification appears and the abrupt time change startles Yeyu. Inside, Shinshui's condition approaches its physical limit. Sensing danger, Yeyu rushes in to pull her from the water, relieved to have acted just in time. As he gently scolds her, he fails to notice a familiar figure silently appearing behind him. The girl launches a surprise water attack, but Yeyu counters the impact, causes her towel to fall, and she collapses unconscious. After an unknown time, the girl regains consciousness beside the pool. As awareness returns, she realizes she is in warm water and has been modestly covered. Holding her head, she feels puzzled about the strange turn of events. Memories resurface from defeating Yeyu to venting her anger on Wushwang, beating him until he begged miserably for mercy. Wushwang is utterly baffled about why he became the punching bag after everything had already settled. Xia Kaiya's stern gaze and lecturing words stress that as a Xia family member, she must set an example for the wandering cultivators relying on them. She reflects on her opponent, recognizing his strength and cunning restraint, and considers recruiting him, stirring an unfamiliar emotion within. Turning back to Wushwang, she scolds him for neglecting his duties while he hugs his sword and protests that their encounter was mere coincidence. He hastily adds that the Linguan of Dian Pavilion has opened, a rare chance he prepared for in advance. He explains that everything was meticulously arranged for her comfort as compensation for her hard work, causing Xia Kaiyu to blush slightly. Xia Kaiyu snorts softly, urging him not to linger and to enter before the water cools. She then heads to Dian Pavilion, ascending to the top floor where the steaming hot spring awaits. Xia Kaiyu lets her robe slip away, revealing her bare form. She quickly wraps herself in a towel and approaches the pool. At that moment, she senses another presence, her gaze turning wary upon realizing the intruder is a man. Irritation surges within as she silently curses the audacious trespasser. Grabbing a nearby ladle, she resolves to make the intruder pay. With a fierce swing, she hurls the water-filled ladle straight at Yeyu. The memory abruptly cuts off, leaving Xia Kaiyu clutching her head with a baffling blank afterward. She wonders if exhaustion is to blame when someone suddenly approaches from behind. A voice calls out, prompting Xia Kaiyu to turn around with a puzzled murmur. Spotting the sachet in the person's hand, she realizes it is the very token she had given earlier. Her cheeks flush as discomfort rises, recognizing that the person before her is the same man from before. Scene shift. Yeyu has brought Shinshui back to rest and gently notes that she has awakened. Still dazed, Shinshui asks where they are, and Yeyu explains they have returned to Jushin Pavilion and that she nearly fell asleep in the spring. He offers her the snacks he brought from Dian Pavilion, and she eagerly perks up at the mention of food. Rubbing her aching head, she is warned by Yu not to overexert herself, and is told that he encountered Princess Xia the previous day. However, Shinshui remains groggy, her hand still pressed to her forehead. After a moment, she snaps to attention and bombards him with questions, but Yeyu quickly stops her, joking about her rapid progress. He sighs and summarizes that their meeting with Princess Xia began by chance, involved minor conflict, and ultimately ended in clear conversation, though Shinshui urges for more details. Yu suddenly notices something unusual in her condition, his gaze turning thoughtful. He realizes her body has undergone significant transformation, with spiritual power manifesting outwardly, and advises her to stabilize her cultivation before learning basic techniques. Suddenly, Shinshui cries out in alarm, leaving Yu puzzled. She hurriedly explains that she missed an appointment with her second senior sister, but Yeyu reassures her that it's nothing to worry about. Just then, a figure appears at the doorway while Shinshui's voice still echoes inside. The door opens, and the gentle newcomer introduces herself as Jingwin, the second senior sister who has come to teach. Jingwin passionately explains the teachings while Shinshui listens attentively, reciting lessons spanning heaven, earth, and interspecies conflict laws. She emphasizes that every race survives thanks to its strongest individuals acting as ultimate bodyguards. Humanity's relatively stable life? Whether a race thrives or perishes depends on its top-tier experts, so all resources are poured into cultivating them despite success being a gamble of effort and luck, making reliance risky and pushing the need for stable solutions like Linguan crystals. These crystals awaken a cultivator's latent potential, helping them climb to peak realms since ancient times. They drastically cut the cost of raising elites, but only the top 10 races control them, creating a huge power gap, plus rumors say they can extend lifespan or unlock transcendent realms, making them race-defining treasures. Hearing this, Shinshui grows skeptical, arguing that something so perfect must come with a terrifying price. Jingwin smiles calmly, saying such caution is natural and that she'll understand through experience. She steps closer, touches Shinshui's cheek, noticing her rapid progress and improved aura, then curiously probes for secrets including her unusual fragrance, leaving Shinshui surprised. Jingwin notices Shinshui's blushing face and teases her further, while outside Yeyu overhears the vague exchange and doesn't know how to react. A voice inside tells someone to stay still, prompting Yeyu to call out from outside, warning them not to overdo it. Peeking in, he finds Shinshui pinning Jingwin down, leaving him stunned as he asks what on earth they're doing. Realizing the awkward misunderstanding, Yu quickly apologizes and tries to leave, but both rush to clarify it's not what it looks like. After clearing things up, they sit together as Jingwin brings up her stored Linguan crystals. She explains she has saved quite a few but hesitated to use them due to insufficient cultivation, and now decides to give them all to her junior, in her talent for a major breakthrough. Yeyu immediately objects, saying such vital sect resources shouldn't be used carelessly, and offers to examine her cultivation first. Jingwin simply smiles while Shinshui looks slightly uneasy. Yu sits across from Jingwin, calmly guiding her to relax, sense her aura, and clear her mind. Following his lead, Jingwin relaxes and gently places her hand on his. Yi's consciousness dives inward, where he sees her spiritual core and recognizes her life flame. His real goal is to inspect someone who has used Linguan crystals in a low-impurity setting. He wonders if early intervention could erase traces left by divine weapons, then points out a white mark as residue from the crystal and reaches to examine it. The strange object begins closing the distance toward him. Suddenly, Jingwen's spirit rises from below. Her hand gently rests on Neifu's hand. Fragments of Jingwen's memories flood Yi's mind, revealing a celebration where he, despite being the weakest, defeated all challengers, confirming these are her recollections. The scene shifts to Jingwen being blocked by disciples from another sect, whom Yeyu recognizes from a past trip down the mountain. Suddenly, a steam bun smacks the leader square in the face. The culprit is none other than Yeyu, whose appearance sends the group fleeing in panic. Holding a bag of buns, Yeyu jokingly offers justice and snacks to comfort his junior, and he realizes these memories even include sound. Sensing danger, he quickly withdraws his hand, his expression turning tense. He discovers that touching the pale female figures drags his consciousness into Jingwen's memories, a sole defense mechanism he hadn't anticipated. Numerous white-clad images of Jingwin surround him, repeatedly calling out senior brother and urging him to come to them. As the overlapping voices echo endlessly, Yu grimly realizes he's in serious trouble. The ground beneath him begins to swirl while the figures approach, their voices intensifying with longing. Their hands gradually touch his face as the relentless calls continue. In that instant, Yu vanishes, leaving the figures in chaos as they desperately search for him. Suddenly, a black flame ignites before them. From within it, a glowing point emerges and unfolds into the shape of a crimson eye. Yi's consciousness returns to reality, and Shinshui immediately asks about the outcome. Rubbing his head, he explains that Jingwen's soul is indeed abnormal and that he must consult ancient texts, just as Jingwen awakens and softly calls him. Jingwen's state is now eerie, with pink-tinted eyes and strange patterns as she questions why Yu wanted to leave. Without warning, she pushes him to the floor and presses against him, prompting Shinshui to blush and cry out while Yu urges Jingwen to wake up. Completely overtaken, Jingwen confesses her longing during his 5-year seclusion and her fear of losing even her place as his junior sister. She pleads for his exclusive affection, but Yu panics and shouts for her to regain her senses. Matching patterns appear in Yi's eyes as twisted thoughts tempt him to accept her advances, seeing it as the perfect moment. Shinshui's sudden cry snaps Yu back to clarity. He immediately restrains and stabilizes Jingwen, while Shinshui anxiously checks if her second senior sister is alright. Yu lays Jingwen down and reassures that she's only temporarily subdued, though her recovery remains uncertain, deepening Shinshui's concern. Holding his forehead, Yu explains that his attempt to probe the residual contamination from the Linguan crystal triggered the bizarre incident and that he might have been consumed without Shinshui's intervention. Gazing at the unconscious Jingwen, Yu feels a lingering unease, realizing how close he himself came to losing control. At that moment, Jingwen slowly opens her eyes. However, what she sees is not reality. In a hazy space, she asks in confusion where she is. A wide-eyed figure appears and calls out her name, Lin Jingwen. The figure smiles, remarking that it has been a long time, or perhaps their first true meeting. Seeing the identical face, Jingwen is shocked and demands why the figure looks like her, only to receive the calm reply, because I am you. The figure claims to understand her deep longing for Yu and appears to help fulfill that desire, but Jingwen flusteredly denies it and questions its true intent. The figure approaches, embracing her and praising Yi's solitary rise to fame and his unwavering protection of her against all who threatened or belittled her. Moved yet conflicted, Jingwen admits her feelings but laments the insurmountable gap between herself and Yu's lofty stature. As if expecting this, the figure lifts her chin and promises to help her. Its smile turns enigmatic, suggesting that there is no reason she cannot have him and emphasizing her own uniqueness. The figure proposes that they share the same desire to possess their senior brother and offers what Jingwen needs if she chooses to stand with it. Unexpectedly, Jingwen grasps the figure's hand and says there is one matter to clarify before agreeing. She bluntly requests that it stop using her face while speaking to her. Immediately after, Jingwen's consciousness gradually returns to reality. Seeing her awaken, Shinshui excitedly calls out to Yu that their second senior sister has regained consciousness. Jingwen touches her forehead in confusion, wondering why she fell asleep, and Yu quickly asks if she feels any discomfort. Slightly embarrassed and blushing, she replies that nothing is wrong, and it merely felt like a dream. While secretly worrying if she said anything inappropriate, she then inquires about the results of her bottleneck examination. Yu and Shinshui exchange silent glances, increasing Jingwen's anxiety as she fears the situation might be serious. Yu reassures her that there is no unsolvable problem, but that further preparation is needed, suggesting she return to the sect with Shinshui. Their gentle response makes her suspect they are hiding something. As the two depart, Jingwen remarks on how late it has become, reflecting on her first visit since Yu became an elder after 5 years of seclusion, yet feeling unfulfilled by the brief encounter. Suddenly blushing, she realizes she might have slept the entire day, prompting Shinshui to cautiously ask if she is truly alright. Noticing her own odd behavior, Jingwen awkwardly attributes it to the evening glow and reassures her junior not to worry. She then pulls Shinshui along enthusiastically, expressing joy at seeing Yu and being examined by him, even planning to cook later, while privately wishing for more chances to simply stay by his side. On their way, Shinshui suddenly asks if Jingwen plans to visit Linguan, leaving her puzzled by the question. Shinshui gently suggests that Jingwen avoid the upcoming Linguan contest, suspecting her strange fainting is linked to the Linguan crystal. Jingwen hesitates but expresses gratitude for the concern, admitting that even if she wished to participate, she might not be qualified. She explains that humanity is supported by 5 major forces: Jushin Pavilion, Great Shi Dynasty, 5 Emperors Alliance, Shaman, and Purification Sect. Each allowed 10 young participants and 1 leader for the 1st century Linguan expedition, leaving little chance for them. Shinshui wonders if Yu, as leader, could influence the selection. Jingwen notes the expedition's immense prestige, making it frustrating to see the opportunity yet be unable to seize it, while Shinshui worries about facing her if she joins through special means. Jingwen adds that Yu is exceptionally outstanding, and despite becoming a core disciple around the same time, the gap between them has grown immense. She recalls initially underestimating Yu, mistaking his kindness to outer disciples as a sign of weakness, only to later rely on his reputation herself. Whenever Yu achieved greatness, she could only stand behind him as challengers were defeated, crowds celebrated, and even renowned figures sought him out. Shinshui glances at her teasingly, asking if she likes Yu, causing Jingwin to blush. Flustered, Jingwin denies it, insisting Shinshui is speaking nonsense about her relationship with Yu. Lowering her voice, she admits she does care for him somewhat, prompting Shinshui to press whether it is truly just somewhat. Embarrassed, Jingwin coughs lightly and says Shinshui is still too young to understand, suggesting she will comprehend their relationship in the future. Suddenly, a teasing voice interrupts, claiming the woman is simply not yet enlightened and identifying Shinshui as his junior sister. Both turn toward the speaker. A young man appears with 2 attendants scattering flower petals behind him, apologizing theatrically for not welcoming her sooner. He leisurely introduces himself as her 3rd senior brother, Ying. After observing her, Ying praises Shinshui's talent, noting that her true ki is already manifesting just days after joining. His compliments shift into comparison with Jingwin, and he presents a wooden box as a gift to support Shinshui's cultivation. Ying claims the item will smooth her cultivation path and invites her to seek him out anytime, but Jingwin coldly remarks that she knows his true intentions. She exposes his plan to curry favor with the young junior for future benefits, which Ying confidently admits aligns with his family's long-standing strategy. With a domineering tone, he asserts that Shinshui's future surpasses Jingwin's and that befriending him is the wiser choice, prompting Shinshui to firmly respond that she dislikes such words. Shinshui calmly faces Ying, stating that as a new disciple she values guidance from both her senior brother and sister, believing anyone willing to help her deserves appreciation. She returns the wooden box, explaining that accepting it while favoring one senior over another would betray her principles, and thanks him for his kindness. Jingwin smiles in approval, while Ying is stunned and asks if she would at least check the contents before deciding. As he tries to persist, Jingwin cuts him off and drags Shinshui away, feeling noticeably relieved. After walking for a while, Jingwin reveals that the gift was a creation pill and asks if Shinshui truly has no regrets. Taking out the box, Jingwin suggests she should still accept it since Ying meant well, prompting Shinshui to ponder her senior sister's intentions. Suddenly, Ying reappears and encourages her to accept the opportunity, emphasizing that chances like the creation pill are rare, while Shinshui remains silent. After a pause, she looks directly at him and mentions that Yu once described him as straightforward with an ordinary appearance. She continues calmly, noting that he often boasts about his background and argues with Jingwin, creating a domineering impression, leaving Ying shaken as Jingwin agrees. Shinshui concludes by praising him as someone reliable in life-and-death situations, a noble descendant willing to shoulder responsibility against humanity's enemies. Hearing this, Ying blushes awkwardly, touched that Yu understands him, while Jingwin silently observes his reaction. Shinshui then lifts the gift box and thanks Ying, expressing happiness at becoming his junior sister. Her words leave Ying momentarily stunned and speechless. He soon regains his enthusiasm, inviting them to a prepared dinner. Shinshui invites Jingwin along, but she declines, insisting the evening is meant for her junior sister, while Ying tries to persuade her with promises of imperial cuisine. Elsewhere, Yu sits in meditation beneath a grand ritual altar. Conflicted thoughts arise in his mind, realizing that Jingwin seems to have accepted him emotionally, and that taking one more step could change everything. Suddenly, he opens his eyes and shouts, his expression altered as his eyes display 2 contrasting colors, one seemingly influenced by something from Jingwen's sea of consciousness. Clutching his head, he complains about the incessant voice in his mind and challenges it to reveal itself. At that moment, a voice responds, claiming it has come to help, and a strange entity gradually materializes before him. The being appears as a hazy spirit with a halo-like glow, introducing itself as Amila, a deity born from this land. Yu reacts with skepticism, repeating the term deity, while Amila maintains a smile and states it seeks his assistance. Noticing Yu's wary gaze, Amila reassures him that it has assessed his abilities and that the task will not be difficult for him. It proposes an exchange, offering to fulfill one of his wishes. Although Yu questions its true identity, the displayed results make it hard to dismiss. As the fluctuating numbers become increasingly chaotic, he senses that Amila is far from simple and can even render his own tool ineffective. After a brief thought, Yu politely declined Amila's offer, leaving her slightly surprised. Yu claimed his life was already fulfilling and the opportunity should go to others, though he secretly feared upcoming calamities he wasn't ready to face. Amila remained calm, advising him not to rush and hinting that only she could fulfill his deepest hidden desires. Yu chuckled confidently, asserting he could obtain anything he wanted, yet inwardly suspected her connection to the world's looming upheavals. Suddenly, the atmosphere darkened as Amila asked if he wished to return to Earth, leaving Yu stunned. Amila affirmed that she possessed the power to send him back and could assist him. Yu asked what she wanted in return. Amila confidently explained that her power once thrived on the direct fulfillment of desires, but over time societal constraints weakened it. Approaching him, Amila revealed she needed an influential figure like Yu to inspire the younger generation simply by living authentically and pursuing his desires. Though the proposal sounded deceptively simple, Yu grew suspicious, yet the chance to return to Earth made it hard to dismiss. As he pondered, the symbols before him suddenly turned chaotic, interrupting his thoughts. Feeling helpless about his nearly useless system for returning home, Yu was startled when strange numbers and anomalies appeared on its interface. His gaze fixed on the disturbances as sweat slowly formed. He then stared intently at Amila. Afterwards, he lifted his eyes toward the empty space above. In his vision, Amila's true form appeared as a grotesque entity with countless eyes and mouths watching him. The surrounding space was engulfed by her colossal body filled with dense ancient symbols, while the tree beneath was merely a tiny fragment. Confused, Amila asked what he was looking at. Yeyu casually replied that he was just admiring the scenery. He then firmly stated that they could not cooperate, claiming he preferred a structured life and did not desire returning to Earth that much. Yu bluntly refused the proposal, causing Amila's expression to dim slightly. She slowly spoke with a hint of regret, saying she had one more question. Noticing his gaze repeatedly shifting to one side, Amila suspected the presence of something she could not perceive. As the symbols fluctuated again, Amila seemed to realize something. She concluded that Yu could see her true form, a thought that momentarily stunned him. Amila raised her hand, releasing a sweeping pressure, yet detected nothing unusual. She then suspected Yu possessed something beyond her perception, while he calmly restrained himself from acting rashly. Maintaining the initiative, Yu smiled and claimed ignorance of her insinuations, reiterating that he simply found himself unsuitable for her request. He mentioned his past fame in youth but explained that he had chosen a leisurely life in recent years, rarely involving himself in sect affairs. He further cited rumors of a cultivation mishap and admitted his dislike for conflict, stating he was content with his current life before turning to leave. However, Amila immediately stopped him, insisting that only he would suffice and even praising his simplicity despite those perceived weaknesses. Amila tempted Yu to become her apostle while secretly vowing to keep him at all costs, causing him to halt. She pressed further, declaring she wouldn't let him leave without a convincing reason to refuse. Yu responded bluntly that he would speak plainly, prompting Amila to listen intently. Turning around, Yu revealed that he had already been an apostle of another god for 5 years. He justified his refusal by stating one cannot serve two masters, leaving Amila momentarily doubtful. Anger surfaced as Amila demanded the other god's identity to destroy them, but Yu calmly refused to disclose it out of loyalty. He reaffirmed his rejection and attempted to send her away, yet Amila hinted at alternative ways to forge a connection. Yu interrupted, arguing that such actions would violate divine rules, noting that gods typically intervene only through apostles. He deduced that Amila's persistence stemmed from her inability to interfere directly, forcing reliance on others, and he stressed that she was overstepping boundaries. Yu even suggested she send her own apostle if dissatisfied. Amila merely smiled, heightening his wariness as he hoped she would leave. Instead, Amila raised her hand, darkening the sky with an ominous smile, prompting Yu to ask her intentions. She bluntly declared she would not allow him to leave, leading Yu to prepare for confrontation. Amila added with intrigue that Yu was the first to see her true form, fueling her desire to uncover his secrets. She further remarked that he had never encountered a true apostle, causing him to feel puzzled. A realization struck Yu as he recalled Jingwin's condition, which Amila immediately confirmed. A sudden, unbearable headache assaulted him as Amila revealed she could perceive all his thoughts and grievances. Shocked, Yu hastily controlled his mind to prevent exposing critical information. Amila then demanded an explanation about the mysterious system she had discovered within his thoughts. Enduring the pain, Yu recognized his absolute disadvantage and resolved to conceal more secrets while seeking a chance to escape. Amila laughed, fascinated by the notion of any being resisting a god, repeatedly pressing him, but Yu remained silent. Seeing this, Amila sighed and adopted a colder demeanor, stating it was time to use stronger measures. She openly proclaimed that she would turn him into her apostle regardless of his will, her expression growing terrifying. A colossal pressure descended upon Yu, causing his body to tremble uncontrollably. Strange transformations appeared on his body as his skin began to change, as if being reconstructed from within. His flesh, body, and soul were forcibly fused with divine power. Fury erupted as Yu shouted in defiance, unleashing an inner force that shattered the oppressive restraint. Channeling all his spiritual energy into his hand, he hurled a spear with devastating power, piercing the massive hand before him. The spearhead then drove straight into the center of Amila's forehead. Yet the wound vanished almost instantly, her body restoring itself as she mockingly asked if he was disappointed. Amila asserted that no worldly technique or power could harm a god. Her words carried absolute dominance, rendering all resistance seemingly futile. Yu rapidly calculated his options, but each plan was invalidated by her mind-reading ability, forcing him to seek an unpredictable path beyond even a god's expectations. Yu's gaze fixed on the familiar system interface before him. It repeatedly displayed warnings of unauthorized data interference and activated a counterattack mechanism. The relentless alerts piled up so intensely that even Yu was momentarily stunned. Amila also sensed the abnormal power forming around her. The system continued operating as its sphere of influence rapidly expanded. Suddenly, a dark crimson formation enveloped the entire space, astonishing even Amila. Murderous symbols rained down like colossal stone pillars, striking her massive body, leaving her no chance to evade. A roar echoed as Yu remained safely protected within a defensive barrier below. Still confused, Amila resisted while demanding answers, but none came. Waves of attacks relentlessly pierced her body as Yu silently observed. Eventually, Amila could no longer endure and her colossal form collapsed. A cage-like barrier emerged, imprisoning her completely. She roared in fury, searching for the mastermind, unaware that the source was Yi's system. Her threatening gaze turned toward him, though her words were more restrained. She declared that she would temporarily spare him. However, her true objective remained unchanged. Before being fully sealed and disappearing, she left a warning that she would return. The controlled puppet body fell from above, its mouth endlessly repeating Yi's name. The echo persisted until it finally lost all consciousness. Before shutting down completely, it uttered a cryptic remark and lay motionless, allowing Yu to finally breathe in relief. The system announced that a recovery process was underway, restoring his body to its original state before initiating an upgrade. A new feature was unlocked. Information appeared about an item, a ring capable of creating a private spatial domain that concealed its user from external detection and nullified most magical effects, which Yu recognized as invaluable. Despite repelling a god, Yu still felt uneasy and resolved to remain vigilant that night, while mentally listing both common and rare materials needed for preparation. Upon encountering an unfamiliar material, he paused in surprise, having never heard of it before. Without hesitation, he turned and left, deciding to seek someone who could provide answers immediately. However, after taking a few steps, he sensed something unusual. The surroundings remained eerily peaceful, as if nothing had occurred, leading him to realize the terrifying power of the system, since neither the disciples nor the sect had noticed any disturbance. Even his blood-bound magical treasure had its connection severed, making him acknowledge the vast gap between himself and those higher powers. He glanced back, realizing there was another matter to handle. What remained was the puppet left behind by Amila. To avoid detection, he decided to take it with him and keep it temporarily sealed. After completing the seal, he added concealment measures to ensure it would remain unnoticed for a time. His next priority was obtaining the required materials, prompting him to head straight to Jushin Pavilion. Upon arrival, he pushed the door open and loudly called for his master. Instead, he found everyone gathered for a meal, with a table full of delicacies including Shinshui and Jingwin. His master, slightly flushed and cheerful, invited him to join, but Yu immediately explained that he had urgent matters. Ying was also present and greeted him warmly, to which Yu responded perfunctorily. Yu lightly reproached Ying for returning without notice, while Ying explained he had just arrived and first encountered Shinshui. His master also offered an explanation, but Yu paid little attention and moved straight to the main issue. Yu directly asked where he could find the heaven-patching stone. The question silenced everyone. His master was clueless, and when Yu explained it was a refining material, Jingwin chuckled softly. His master admitted his lack of expertise and offered to inquire the next day. Unable to wait, Yu stressed the urgency and prepared to leave immediately. Jingwin then mentioned a legend of an ancient battlefield where the shattered sky's fragments became a power source that helped humanity turn the tide. She speculated that these fragments might be what he sought, and Yu found her reasoning convincing. He turned to Ying, asking about the story's authenticity and referencing his family's ties to the purification sect for further clues. Ying pressed his lips together, his expression tense and gaze lowered. Looking at Yu with gloomy eyes, he pleaded, "Senior brother, could you help save my family?" Ying recounted his story. The once-per-century opening of the Linguan secret realm was approaching, prompting the purification sect to prepare, especially as the aging Grand Hierarch planned to step down. Intensifying the competition among the 5 profound rob bishops, including Ying Shazeng, who guarded the region near the Holy City and the Wanyao Ridge. He emphasized the selection's importance, explaining that his father, responsible for safeguarding the route to the Holy City, was ambushed and killed while escorting elite candidates. On that day, Ying Shazeng personally led the escort, but all the chosen youths heading for the Linguan trial were tragically slain. Coincidentally, a Ying family disciple missed the departure and survived, witnessing the mysterious assailant attack Ying Shazeng and overhearing their confrontation. The attacker questioned, "How do you know the secret of the Pojun art?" The Pojun art, the Ying family's supreme technique known only to recognize core members, being exposed pointed suspicion toward internal betrayal, sparking mutual distrust between the main and branch families. Disasters compounded as the escort's annihilation enraged various factions, who pressured the Ying family for answers, leaving them besieged externally and divided internally, earning the sympathy of Yu and the others. Ying added that the Grand Hierarch granted the Ying family temporary reprieve, prioritizing the swift selection of a successor profound rob bishop to maintain plans for the southern campaign against Wanyao Ridge. The Ying family's strong standing relied on holding 2 of the 5 bishop positions. Reclaiming the lost seat offered hope to uncover the assassination's truth, whereas losing it would allow rival factions to crush them. However, at this critical moment, the clan elders remained divided and suspicious, making the competition nearly impossible, and his return to Jushin Pavilion was essentially arranged as a refuge. Ying begged Yu to aid his father in the bishop trial, promising the Ying family would secure the heaven-patching stone. But his master suddenly intervened with a firm refusal. Startled, Ying turned toward the voice and murmured in surprise, "Master." His master explained that exposing Yu, an elder of Jushin Pavilion, could endanger his life and create political complications between the sects. He then reminded Yu of his recent appointment to lead the Linguan team, urging him to remain and prepare, while Jingwin watched him intently. After a moment of silence, Yu asked Ying what assistance was needed, and how long it would take. Excited, Ying explained the 3 trial stages, noting Yu only needed to secretly protect his father during the initial demon hunt, which would take about 2 days. Yu calmly requested his master's permission, emphasizing that obtaining the heaven-patching stone was crucial for the Linguan competition, and promising to conceal his identity. His master sighed, realizing this was the first time Yu had earnestly pleaded for something. He warned Yu to avoid using the Fushing demon-breaking spear unless absolutely necessary, and to carefully conceal his identity, to which Yu respectfully agreed. Turning to Ying, the master gently suggested finishing the meal before planning, earning Ying's heartfelt gratitude. At that moment, the lifelink jade at Ying's waist suddenly vibrated. He grabbed it as it glowed, his hands trembling. This was a life-bound jade. His face turned pale as he choked out that his second brother, Ying Shengyang, had died. Clutching the jade, he realized he would have been the victim had he not come to Jushin Pavilion and vowed vengeance against those seeking to annihilate his family. Seeing the urgency, the master advised immediate departure and confirmed that Ying Mian's airship was still stationed near the sect's gate. Ying Mian stated he would have it inspected and ready for departure, while Yeyu and Shinshui exchanged silent glances. The master solemnly urged caution, emphasizing that their safety mattered most and assuring them that Jushin Pavilion would always be their refuge. Both men acknowledged with respect. Finally, he instructed Lin Jingwin and Shi Shinshui not to get involved, and Shinshui vowed to remain and complete her foundational cultivation before Yu's return, earning the master's satisfied nod. After speaking, Shi Shinshui dragged Lin Jingwin away in a hurry, leaving Jingwin puzzled by the unnecessary rush. Gazing at the night sky, their master pondered that he might need to personally visit the masters of the armament pavilion, risking potential conflict for Yi's sake. Meanwhile, Shi Shinshui kept urging forward, and Lin Jingwin grew more confused, noting that this was not the path back to the dormitory. Upon arrival, Lin Jingwin froze upon seeing someone waiting. The person greeted them first. The waiting figures were Yeyu and Ying Mian, prompting Jingwin to question Yeyu about the situation. Yeyu smiled gently, explaining that he needed their assistance for the Purification Sect's treasure-seeking expedition. Once everyone boarded, the vessel immediately departed, soaring into the sky. The powerful thrust distorted the surrounding air, creating rippling waves. Seated at the bow, Yeyu silently observed the surroundings as the wind howled past. After a while, Ying Mian and the two women approached, informing him they had entered the Purification Sect's territory and would reach the holy city by noon the next day. Yeyu simply acknowledged. He then inquired about the route ahead, asking whether they would pass major towns in 2 hours, and if repairs or ship changes were possible in case of an ambush. Ying Mian confirmed and went to adjust the course. Yeyu advised the two women to rest and planned to discuss strategy in 2 hours, prompting Lin Jingwin to quietly urge him to be careful. Yeyu remained seated, gazing into the distance with inscrutable thoughts. Seeing this, Shi Shinshui approached with concern, asking if something unusual had happened, since he had suddenly rushed to find the heaven-patching stone. Sitting beside him, she explained that both Ying Mian and Lin Jingwin were awaiting news, so she came to clarify the situation. Yeyu revealed that a god had set its sights on him and was even pursuing him. He recounted how shortly after everyone left, a deity named Amila appeared to recruit him as an apostle, but his superior system activated a countermeasure and sealed it away. However, Amila left a threat to return after dealing with his system, leaving Shi Shinshui shocked at how quickly events had escalated. Recalling Lin Jingwin's earlier abnormalities and Amila's appearance, Yeyu concluded that Amila had been interfering and might exploit Jingwin to pressure him, so involving her in this mission aimed to resolve the issue completely. Shi Shinshui then asked whether he had found a way to address the Linguan contamination. Yeyu produced a ring, explaining he had discovered part of the solution, a special artifact capable of severing divine surveillance and preventing mental manipulation. He added that the key material for crafting this artifact was the heaven-patching stone, intending to create 2 rings to protect both himself and Lin Jingwin, though she would be prioritized if only one could be made. Shi Shinshui fell silent, her expression dimming, prompting Yeyu to press her to reveal any hidden concerns. She slowly explained that her impression of the Purification Sect had always been negative, as it was the first faction to betray humanity when the gods descended, with the most terrifying figure being the pure flame saintess. She described how wherever the saintess passed, everything was reduced to ashes, devastating armies within hundreds of miles, and even forcing the True Dragon clan to avoid confrontation. Even after battling her, that senior brother judged the opponent's power nearly impossible to confront, leading Yeyu to suspect she was likely a divine apostle. Shi Shinshui rubbed her forehead, trying to recall how that senior brother once defeated the enemy, but only fragmented memories surfaced. Frustrated by her inability to remember, she exclaimed in distress just as people below began pointing and gossiping about Liu's airship. Yeyu reassured her not to force her memory and suggested observing further upon reaching the holy city, emphasizing that their mission was not to confront the Purification Sect or provoke any gods before completing the artifact. As he spoke, his eyes subtly glanced into the distance, as if sensing something unusual. Confused, Shi Shinshui asked what he meant by time running out. Yeyu calmly revealed that the airship would fail in about 20 minutes, shocking her. She hurried inside to warn everyone that the airship was about to encounter trouble. At the same time, a figure appeared behind the vessel, pursuing it at high speed. Yeyu immediately grew alert, his gaze sharpening as he raised his hand, ready to strike. A loud explosion erupted behind the ship, leaving him no time to intervene. Ying Mian and the others rushed out to inquire, and Yeyu briefly explained that relentless attackers were targeting the airship. Assessing the situation, he realized that unless the threat was eliminated, the attackers would persist until the vessel was destroyed. He instructed Ying Mian to protect the 2 junior sisters while he dealt with the pursuers, advising them to switch transport and continue to the holy city if the ship was damaged. With that, he left the airship to face the pursuing group alone. Explosions echoed across the sky, amusing the onlookers below who pointed and laughed. Their amusement quickly faded when they saw the airship escape the blast zone unharmed. Yeyu appeared before the pursuers, hovering in the air and coldly demanding to know who gave them the audacity to cause trouble. His piercing gaze and oppressive aura caused the surrounding atmosphere to grow tense. The black-robed figure sneered, mocking Yeyu as a mere nascent soul cultivator, and threatening that he would not leave alive that night. Unfazed, Yeyu casually replied that he was busy and suggested they attack together, sarcastically noting that with a bishop missing, even such rabble dared wreak havoc within the Purification Sect's territory. Fixing his gaze on the opponent, he coldly remarked, "I'm talking about you," when another voice suddenly interrupted him. The black-robed man laughed harshly and shed his disguise, revealing his true form as a demonic beast with a ferocious demeanor. He introduced himself as the deputy leader of the hunting squad of the Konglang Dread Wolf clan, notorious for slaughtering humans. Boasting arrogantly, he claimed countless nascent soul cultivators had died by his hand and that Yeyu would not escape, prompting Yeyu to suspect deeper infiltration of the demon race into human territory. Yeyu quickly decided to extract information from him, while the beast named Ji Yuang condescendingly promised a painless death if Yu cooperated. Ji Yuang demanded information about the departing airship and the mysterious treasure it was escorting. Yeyu feigned ignorance, responding calmly as if unaware of what the beast was referring to. Enraged, Ji Yuang slashed a nearby tree in half to intimidate him and ordered him to stop playing dumb. He shouted for Yeyu to observe the surrounding situation carefully, prompting Yeyu to descend and confront him directly on the ground. Seti Wang brags about his ambush of elite terrifying wolf clan forces sealing the forest and surrounding Yeyu with countless demon beasts. He drags out a demon girl, revealing that everything was meticulously prearranged. He claims the girl leaked news of a rare treasure being secretly transported into the city and threatens her life to force Yeyu to confess. He issues an ultimatum, demanding the treasure's identity and its purpose in the holy city. With her last strength, the girl urges Yeyu to flee, warns about a red-flagged merchant ship, and asks him to inform the young lady not to come. Yeyu remains motionless, eyes calculating as if plotting his next move. His silence enrages Seti Wang, who strikes the girl down and forbids her from speaking. He continues tormenting her, even stomping on her head with cruel amusement. After the torture, he turns to Yeyu, claiming to have clues about the red-flagged ship, and begins suspecting his identity. He orders his men to deal with Yeyu while preparing to retreat with his main forces, but Yeyu suddenly speaks as if realizing something. Yi's voice turns icy as he declares that all 57 demon clansmen present will soon be dead. Seti Wang merely scoffs and pats his subordinate's shoulder. He assigns Yeyu to Go-er, who immediately charges forward. Go-er attacks with contempt, attempting a swift kill. However, the scene before Ti Wang unfolds far differently than expected. His gaze freezes as his earlier confidence evaporates. All that remains are scattered body parts of his subordinate, torn apart in an instant. The surroundings turn to a massacre as demon beasts fall one by one, panic spreading across his face. Losing composure, he turns to flee with only escape in mind. Yet Yu appears before him in a flash, blocking his path before he can react. With an icy gaze and crushing pressure, Yu demands answers about their infiltration and true intentions, offering survival for honesty. Seti Wang's life ticks down to its final moments as Yu urges him to speak more urgently. Witnessing his forces annihilated by someone at the nascent soul realm, he suspects Yeyu as concealed power far beyond his own. Fear surges as he stammers to speak, only to realize his fate is already sealed. Yeyu frowns slightly, reminding him that time has run out. Driven to desperation, Ti Wang burns his primordial spirit and charges at Yeyu in a final frenzied attack. His last strike carries all his remaining power, aimed directly at Yeyu with suicidal determination. Facing the assault, Yeyu remains still, raising his hand only at the final moment. His eyes turn pale white as he silently unleashes a technique. Seti Wang's body is instantly immobilized, and he realizes this power does not belong to the purifying world sect. In despair, he screams helplessly, repeatedly demanding Yi's true identity. In the distance, Lu Lingni awakens groggily, wondering why she is still alive and calling out in panic. Struggling to rise, Lu Lingni is stunned by the battlefield littered with demon corpses, with not a single survivor in sight. Her eyes widen in disbelief at the gruesome scene. Yi's voice suddenly sounds from behind, startling her into turning around. Holding Seti Wang's severed head, Yu calmly states that all infiltrating demons have been eliminated, leaving Lu Lingni shocked by his overwhelming strength. As she tries to stand, Yu advises her not to strain due to severe injuries, but she stubbornly insists on getting up. Moments after standing, she suddenly kneels before him. She kowtows, introducing herself as Lu Lingni and expressing profound gratitude for saving her life. Raising her head, she urgently begs him to rescue her young lady, fearing she may have encountered the demon attackers. Yu helps her up, stating that as a cultivator of Zhangzhou, he cannot ignore demon infiltration, deeply moving Lu Lingni, who promises her young lady will repay the favor. When asked about her condition, Lu Lingni downplays her injuries, despite having broken limbs, and suggests waiting here. But Yu disagrees, calculating that hitching a ride on their airship would hasten his journey to the holy city. Remembering to ask her savior's name, she learns that Yeyu introduces himself as Yu Shi, a wandering cultivator heading to the holy city. Hearing this, she brightens, noting that her group is also traveling there. Yu suddenly pretends to leave for help, causing Lu Lingni to panic and stop him while apologizing for not telling the truth. She explains that due to strained relations between the Great Xia and the Purifying World sect and the fame of the Jutian Pavilion, they had concealed their true identities. In reality, her young lady is from the Great Xia. As Lu Lingni continues pleading, Yu recalls prior instructions and reassures himself that he once appeared in the Great Xia capital without being recognized. She offers to meet any condition if he saves her young lady, but Yeyu interrupts, requesting only that his whereabouts be kept secret from the Jutian Pavilion. Wasting no time, Yu decides to depart immediately, carrying Lu Lingni with him, leaving her blushing silently at the sudden gesture. Elsewhere, an airship steadily advances through the sky. Suddenly, volleys of arrows shoot toward it from multiple directions. A young man rushes forward to block the attack and counterstrike against the ambushers. The enemy laughs mockingly, claiming the previous tactic will not succeed again. Continuing his taunts, he notes the young man's disordered breathing as a sign of exhaustion, while the youth internally acknowledges his own identity. The enemy relentlessly provokes him, and the young man quickly assesses that their coordination and aura reveal them as seasoned fighters. Their overwhelming numbers and organization confirm they are far from ordinary bandits. This suspicion deepens as he senses something increasingly amiss. Although the leader appears crude and unarmed as if merely probing, the attacker's siege of the airship is executed with precise coordination, steadily draining their opponents. While some feign close combat from the front, archers lurk behind, coordinating seamlessly without communication. Even the visible archers serve as decoys, with hidden marksmen waiting for the perfect killing moment. The surrounding space becomes eerily silent, spiritual sense seemingly devoured, and despite the airship being forced to halt with great commotion, no one arrives to investigate. A voice from behind urges the young man to quickly repel the attackers. The passengers grow impatient and pressure him with potential consequences, irritating him as he realizes they underestimate the danger. Caught between pressures from both sides, he takes a deep breath to steady himself. A faint smile appears as the dire situation ignites his fighting spirit. He recalls his father's instructions, emphasizing the mission's importance and the expectations placed upon him. Returning to reality, he scans his companions, confident that though few, they are all experts ready to counterattack. He resolves to turn this battle into a chance to prove his strength and elevate the reputation of the Changwei escort agency. He laments that the maid's shallow understanding makes them think his efforts are mere pretense, even wishing to let a bandit slip through to scare them. A resounding voice echoes through the air, causing the bandit leader and his men to freeze in surprise. Anise grips the leader as he realizes the brutish warrior has yet to regroup, signaling trouble. Forced to shout commands, he fears his led forces face a grim fate and prepares to reveal his true form. The disguise of Ron Zhuang is torn apart as he roars, "Kill them!" His subordinates surge forward with savage momentum, elite wolf clansmen launching a ferocious assault on the Changwei escort team. Witnessing this, Chang Shengxiao is stunned, trembling as he realizes, "So you're not human." Gripping his weapon, he charges into battle, shielding attacks from the front while countering with his blade. The remaining escort members join the fight without hesitation. Someone reassures Chang Shengxiao, promising rescue, but is immediately killed by an arrow piercing his body. The wolves abandon their probing tactics, striking with lethal intent as their leader orders, "Brothers, slaughter them and seize the treasure, quick victory!" He commands Kasi Ming and Gusan to handle the women as they rush toward the airship. One remarks it would be a waste to simply kill them. Claiming the meat is insufficient for himself, he opens his jaws toward a nearby girl. Before he can strike, two figures flash in, severing his head and arms, then immediately attack the remaining foe together. The other wolf sneers, noting that they seem more formidable than the previous girl. A brown-haired girl angrily demands to know what they did to Lingni. The wolf grins wickedly, promising to send her to meet Lingni before launching a deadly slash. Just as the blade nears, it halts abruptly as blood splatters across the girl's face, leaving her pale. To everyone's shock, a large hole appears in the wolf's head with no visible cause. Yu arrives, frowning slightly and remarking he came just in time, with Lu Lingni smiling on his back at her sisters. Elsewhere, the fierce battle between humans and wolves continues, with the wolves gradually gaining the upper hand due to superior stamina. Chang Shengxiao glances over and is horrified to discover that one of his arms is missing. The wolves press forward relentlessly, their howls creating immense pressure as they shout "Kill!" As they are about to overwhelm Chang Shengxiao, Yu appears just in time, knocking two wolves away with a single hand and rendering them helpless. He swiftly catches a falling blade. With a decisive strike, he instantly slays the two enemies. A furious voice draws his attention as the wolf leader charges in, cursing him as a lowly beast. Holding Lu Lingni with one arm, Yu blocks the attack with a broken sword in the other. The wolf leader's assault is calmly deflected by Yu, who observes steadily, prompting the foe to admit he has some skill. The leader follows up with a tremendously powerful downward strike. The two enter a tense stalemate. He threatens that since his brothers are dead, the person Yu protects will not survive either. Placing a hand on his glowing blade, he hints that Yu is unaware of something. He reveals that victims captured by the terrifying wolf clan suffer a fate worse than death, activating a strange reaction in Lu Lingni. Lu Lingni immediately coughs up a mouthful of blood. The leader laughs, boasting that the unique wolf poison is incurable regardless of Yi's cultivation. He details the agonizing progression of the poison, from vomiting blood to total paralysis and living death. He cruelly adds that human prey tastes best while still conscious. Launching another fierce attack, his strike shatters Yi's sword into fragments. A powerful blow follows, sending dust billowing into the air. Yu swiftly evades, gently sets Lu Lingni down, and calls for her sisters to assist. While still battling, the women notice him as he warns that without an antidote, Lu Lingni will not survive the day and urges them to hurry. The sisters rush over, shouting that they are coming to help Lingni. Yu tosses Lu Lingni safely toward them. The leader unleashes a full-powered strike, roaring for Yu's death. He soon notices that Yu now has support behind him. Instantly, he redirects his attack toward the women. A single slash forces them into defensive retreat, halting their advance. Seizing the moment, Yu closes in and delivers a powerful kick to the leader's back. The leader is sent flying like a projectile before crashing heavily to the ground. Witnessing their leader's defeat, the remaining wolves are stunned into inaction. Even the girls display astonishment at the scene. Enraged, the leader's eyes turn crimson as he roars his intent to kill Yu. Before he can act, Yu stomps him into the ground, the immense force twisting the surrounding air. The earth collapses into a massive crater with Yu standing at its center. Yu frowns and mockingly asks what the leader was saying, claiming he did not hear clearly. The airship descends to the ground at this moment. Those aboard blush upon seeing Yi's imposing figure. The leader lies pinned to the ground under the gaze of his subordinates. Yu demands the antidote, promising a dignified death in return. Another airship suddenly appears, its occupants denouncing the demon raiders as Yu recognizes them as members of the Purifying World sect. A young man leaps down from the airship, sword drawn and eyes coldly fixed on the leader. The terrified leader exclaims that he is from the Purifying World sect. Before he can finish, the young man beheads him with a single strike right before Yu. The remaining wolves are left stunned and speechless by the sudden execution. The young man calmly sheaths his sword, declaring that any demon causing chaos must be slain without mercy. With no escape, the remaining wolves charge desperately in a final suicidal assault. The young man casually opens his eyes and signals with a snap of his fingers. Masked fighters immediately emerge from the forest. They swiftly surround the wolves with overwhelming force. Within moments, all the demons are annihilated, their severed heads marking the end of the battle. Approaching the airship, he respectfully introduces himself as Lu Shimin, the eldest son of the Lu family, apologizing for frightening the young lady. He then notices Lu Lingna's suffering and inquires whether she has been afflicted by demon poison. Observing the advanced spread of the toxin, a worried girl supporting Lu Lingni anxiously asks Lu Gongzi what should be done next. Lu Shimin produces an antidote pill, reassuring everyone that only the Lu family possesses a cure for this demon poison. He instructs them to administer the pill and regulate her energy, assuring recovery after a few days of rest, earning their gratitude. Turning to Yu, he inquires about his identity while secretly wondering why this stranger has not yet departed. Yu introduces himself as Yu Shi, a wandering cultivator who helped upon encountering the demon attack Lu Shimin, inwardly disdainful, assumes he stayed for a reward and offers him a gold ingot while maintaining a polite smile. Yu clarifies that Lu Gongzi has misunderstood as he did not act for money. Before he can finish, a girl behind affirms that such a great favor cannot be repaid with mere wealth. She introduces herself as Lu Mini, along with her sisters Sao Ni and Xiu Ni, expressing their heartfelt gratitude for saving their elder sister. A gentle female voice from within the airship agrees, stating that their survival is entirely thanks to Yu. She urges him not to refuse and promises that her family will fulfill any reasonable request. Yu humbly declines further rewards, requesting only a ride to the holy city, which causes Lu Shimin's expression to change noticeably. The young lady laughs softly, insisting that such a simple gesture is insufficient repayment. She proposes inviting Yu to a meal after reaching the holy city, further irritating Lu Shimin. She then invites Yu aboard to share tea during the journey, intensifying Lu Shimin's displeasure. Lu Shimin abruptly objects, confusing everyone present. Pointing at Yu with suspicion, he accuses him of orchestrating a ruse with the demons to approach the young lady, citing his timely appearance despite being an unarmed wandering cultivator. Yu calmly explains that he was traveling with companions and stayed behind to assist after encountering the demon assault. Nevertheless, Lu Shimin remains suspicious, suggesting that if Yu merely seeks passage, he should board the Lu family's airship instead. At that moment, the young lady intervenes, ordering him to stop. Stepping forward, she defends Yu, asserting that she personally witnessed his efforts, and that he could have acted earlier if he harbored ill intentions. With no evidence to support his accusations, Lu Shimin apologizes for his discourtesy. He then proposes that, given their fatigue and Lu Lingna's severe injuries, they transfer to the Lu family's airship. He emphasizes that their vessel is equipped with physicians and comfortable accommodations to ensure a safer journey to the holy city. The young lady agrees, praising the Lu family's preparedness, while Lu Shimin courteously invites them aboard despite lingering uncertainty. She gestures for Yu to join them and suggests enjoying tea together en route, causing Lu Shimin's expression to stiffen. Noticing this, she asks Lu Shimin if there is any problem. Though displeased, he forces a polite response, inviting the young lady to proceed. After everyone boards, the airship swiftly sets off toward the holy city. Leading the way, Lu Shimin explains that all arrangements have been made and guides them to the resting quarters, while the young lady occasionally glances at Yu with a gentle smile as he continues boasting about the airship's luxury and superior performance. Lu Shimin stops before a spacious room, declaring it reserved exclusively for the young lady, with maids already waiting outside. He then invites Yu to follow him to another room for discussion, prompting the young lady to thank him politely. She smiles at Yu, suggesting their conversation take place in her room instead, leaving Lu Shimin momentarily stunned. Understanding her intent, the accompanying girls excuse themselves and leave with Lu Shimin. Watching the door close, Lu Shimin feels a growing unease, sensing events slipping beyond his control. Inside, Yu notes Lu Shimin's unfriendly gaze and claims he is unworthy of such favor, but the young lady insists it is only natural for a life-saving benefactor. With only a single couch in the room, she invites him to sit and converse comfortably. Yu hesitates, sensing an awkward atmosphere. She then asks if he truly desires no reward. Explaining that her father's instructions prevent her from revealing her identity and that they may not meet again, she offers gold, techniques, treasures, or spiritual items as repayment. Fixing her gaze on him, she subtly asks what he needs most at present. Yu falls silent, pondering before responding. After a moment, he inquires about the Heaven Patching Stone, a rare material for forging magical artifacts, stating that even information about it would suffice. As she thoughtfully touches her chin, Yu reassures her that it is understandable if she does not know given its rarity. However, she shakes her head, affirming that she is familiar with the Heaven Patching Stone. She explains that it is an extraordinarily rare divine stone, once used by the great Xia dynasty a millennium ago to forge supreme treasures, now irreplaceable and controlled by major powers, with ordinary people scarcely aware of its existence. Hearing this, Yeyu rises eagerly, expressing the stone's crucial importance for crafting a vital artifact and requesting guidance on obtaining it. She reveals that she heard of the stone appearing at an auction hosted by the Southern Emperor Alliance, a trading hub between humans and other races, suggesting he try his luck there. She adds that she will remain in the Holy City for a few days and will provide a letter of introduction for him to seek assistance from her elder sister, prompting Yeyu to express sincere gratitude. A knock on the door announces their arrival at the Holy City, leading Yeyu to praise the airship's exceptional speed. The two approach the window together. Outside, the night sky reveals circling birds and a brilliantly illuminated city below, its towering walls exuding grandeur and strength. Yeyu admires it as the foremost city of humanity, while the young lady studies him with unusual interest. She recalls her elder sister once enthusiastically describing a remarkable young wandering cultivator who excelled in a selection trial with both martial insight and admirable character. Memories surface of their conversation about whether he was the one who withstood the final sword strike, followed by her sister's curious inquiry. At the time, she had merely claimed to have witnessed it by chance while passing through. This shared exchange left a lasting impression on her. After the airship lands, the group proceeds swiftly to the Lu family residence, where attendants await their arrival. A middle-aged man stands at the entrance, surrounded by vigilant guards. He respectfully clasps his hands and introduces himself as Lu Yi, paying homage to the young lady. Lu Yi continues, proudly stating that everything from carriages to a welcoming banquet has been meticulously prepared. The young lady responds with a graceful smile, praising the Lu family's thoughtfulness. She is escorted onto a carriage while Yu quietly departs upon arrival. Lu Yi quickly notices and calls out, asking Yu to stop. As Yu turns back, Lu Yi expresses gratitude and insists the Lu family must repay him for saving their young lady. Yu humbly declines, but Lu Shimin joins in, proposing friendship, and Lu Yi invites Yu to select a weapon from the Lu family's armory as a token of appreciation. Urged by his father, Lu Shimin courteously leads the way, and Yu reluctantly accepts the hard Torfu's offer. As Yu follows, father and son exchange calculating glances filled with hidden intentions. Upon arrival, Lu Shimin opens the door and invites Yu to choose freely. However, the atmosphere shifts the moment he steps inside, revealing their true scheme. Lu Shimin's expression turns cold as soldiers emerge from all sides to encircle Yu, who remains calm as if expecting this betrayal. Lu Shimin commands the troops to surround Yu and prevent any escape. With contempt, he mocks Yu for daring to accept a reward from the Lu family. He belittles the earlier demon foes as incompetent and orders his soldiers to kill Yu, confident this time he cannot escape. After issuing the command, Lu Shimin turns and slams the door shut behind him. Outside, he smugly believes Yu is doomed, thinking that someone of low status who dares to aim high only invites disaster. He further schemes to control the young lady, unaware that shadowy figures on the rooftop are secretly observing his actions. His sinister thoughts deepen as he believes that once someone falls into the Lu family's hands, their fate is entirely at his mercy. Suddenly, a loud crash erupts from the door behind him. A soldier is violently kicked out, crashing into Lu Shimin and knocking him to the ground. As he scrambles up, he angrily demands to know who is responsible. Before him stands Yu, still in a striking stance with a cold gaze, while soldiers lie defeated inside, leaving Lu Shimin shocked and questioning his true identity. As Yu approaches, Lu Shimin panics and invokes his status as the Lu family's eldest young master in an attempt to intimidate him. He desperately threatens Yu by invoking the power and backing of the Lu family. Unmoved, Yu coldly orders him to step aside before killing him outright. Yu then departs as if nothing happened, leaving Lu Shimin in terror, while the rooftop observers exchange glances and withdraw to report. Later, Yu asks an elderly woman for a recommendation on famous dining spots, and she cheerfully directs him to Lu, the most renowned restaurant in the Holy City. She adds that many powerful cultivators have recently gathered there, making it even livelier. Yu thanks her and leaves. Upon entering the restaurant, Yu immediately attracts attention as Shinshui excitedly nudges Jingwin about the newcomer. Jingwin recognizes him at once and blushes slightly. Shinshui attempts to call out to him but is quickly stopped by Jingwin. Yu looks at them in confusion, while Jingwin subtly reminds her not to call his name openly. Yu then notices the surrounding gazes and the hushed whispers directed at him. Among the murmurs, people mention that the Lu family is searching for someone surnamed Yu who has caused major trouble and may not survive the night in the Holy City. Jingwin invites Yu to sit, while Shinshui promptly clears a seat, moving a cat aside. She softly asks, "Mind if I borrow a seat?" As Yu sat down, Jingwin explained that the Lu family had begun investigating him, though his identity remained hidden while rumors spread. She analyzed that Lu Yi was a strong candidate for a high church position, boosting the Lu family's power and making Yu a target, while the Ying family suffered internal strife and declining prestige, forcing the sisters to seek countermeasures. Yu inquired about the airship, and despite her confusion, Jingwin confirmed they had safely reached the Holy City after his departure. Suspicious of the unexpected outcome, Yu pondered the discrepancy as Shinshui interrupted, asking him to recount the incident and his conflict with the Lu family. Yu studied Shinshui intently before explaining that he had left the airship to assist during the crisis. He revealed that the attackers were demon clan members, disguised as bandits targeting a Lu family merchant ship, and after resolving the threat together, they proceeded to the Holy City, where unexpected changes arose. A sudden thought linked Shinshui to these changes, and the cat in her arms grew uneasy and fled, prompting Jingwin's reminder. Shinshui pressed him to continue the story after the merchant ship was rescued. At that moment, a man barged in, loudly demanding everyone leave the tavern as the Ying family intended to reserve the entire place and cover all expenses. The proprietress objected to expelling guests, while onlookers whispered about the Ying family's overbearing behavior and declining strength. The Ying family's representative issued coercive choices and threats, leaving the proprietress flustered as she tried to explain. He invoked the current sect leader's authority to intensify the pressure, further heightening the tension. The crowd murmured that despite its decline, the Ying family still had backing and was best not confronted directly. The man then noticed Yu sitting in a corner, and his attitude immediately shifted. He respectfully invited the person behind him to step forward. When a middle-aged man appeared, he introduced Yu as the helper he had invited. The man looked at Yu and introduced himself as the current head of the Ying family, Ying Si. Yu responded by presenting himself as an independent cultivator who had come to assist in the competition for the position. Ying Si secretly evaluated him as young and unfathomable in strength, yet not resembling someone seasoned by life-and-death battles, making a high cultivation level unlikely despite any concealment. After consideration, Ying Si expressed gratitude but declined the help, believing the crucial contest unsuitable for outsider involvement. Ying Mo showed confusion and concern about their disadvantage without support, but Ying Si remained resolute, noting their slim chances and Yu's personal motives. Those around remained silent, merely listening without interruption. Ying Si further emphasized that the contest would determine the two families' century-long fate, and was extremely dangerous, with even his own survival uncertain, let alone that of an outsider. Only then did Yu grasp Ying Si's implication and remarked that the family head doubted his capability, which was easy to resolve. He proposed a direct test, inviting Ying Si to make a move if doubts remained. Ying Si laughed heartily, teasing the young hero's fervor, and offered a cup of Chinqi tea said to calm the mind and sharpen the spirit while subtly infusing it with spiritual power. He added that although the Central Plains were vast, this tea could only be enjoyed within the pure world sect's territory, and since they were friends of Mozi, and his journey to Qingcheng was not easy, missing the chance to taste it would be a pity. Mentioning Yeyu, Ying Si gently pushed the teacup forward, its hidden energy surging toward him, but Yeyu merely smirked. Yeyu casually raised his hand, instantly dispelling the force, then calmly caught the cup and took a sip. He praised it as exquisite tea and thanked the family head. Ying Si was inwardly shaken by such precise control, effortlessly neutralizing the key without spilling a drop, and stood to apologize, acknowledging that befriending Yu was a blessing and welcoming his assistance. With the sect leaders thrown vacant and the demon clans massing at the borders, the pure world sect's leaders were holding the front lines, and only swiftly filling the position could turn the tide. In 2 days, the 4 sect leaders would secretly arrive at Qingcheng for a trial, now altered to slay a demon general within enemy ranks, while Yi's role was to guard Ying Si as he delivered the decisive kill. Once fame and merit were secured, later trials would pose no issue, and the sky-mending stones were heirlooms from the sect's founding. Though mostly symbolic, Ying Si promised to offer all the sky-mending stones if Qingcheng and the Ying family were saved, inviting Yu to stay and wait, to which Yu replied with a grateful smile. Elsewhere, a cat quietly observed Yu's group. Suddenly, its gaze shifted and its body trembled in alarm. It reported to the general that it had overheard crucial intelligence. Far away, a demon spy informed the Great King that they had obtained reliable information about powerful human experts through a substitution technique, and the words of Ying Si. The Great King, a demon bear, impatiently demanded the report. The trembling cat demon explained that the demon army's advance had left humans wary, with only an elderly sect leader and a few family heads fewer than 10 capable of resistance in the holy city. In 2 days, the 4 sect leaders would secretly return under the guise of a trial to kill their chieftain, and the Ying family had enlisted a tall, long-haired expert confirmed to be a black-haired youth. A one-armed, one-eyed survivor angrily confirmed it was Yeyu, who had slain their comrades during a raid the previous night. Hearing this, the Great King resolved to personally identify and kill Yeyu as a sacrificial offering. Rising with surging aura, he declared the holy city a rare opportunity, as elite youths and key figures had gathered there, while only the aged sect leader remained to protect them. He ordered a complete purge to sever the human race's century-long fortune. The demon army was commanded to march overnight and launch a battle at Qingcheng the next morning, prompting unified cheers. As dawn approached, the demon forces fully assembled. Rank upon rank of troops stood in orderly silence, awaiting the Great King's command. In the holy city, Yeyu was escorted to the princess' residence, where the guide stated that Linger would lead him the rest of the way upon meeting Lu Linger. Yeyu smiled and exclaimed about her injury. Lu Linger replied with relief that Yeyu had finally arrived and the princess was waiting upstairs, prompting Yu to marvel at her miraculous one-day recovery and wonder if the Lu family had a miracle doctor. Lu Linger explained that the Pure World sect possessed healing alchemy capable of saving anyone with a remaining breath, and the Lu family secretly provided it to please the princess. She led him to a room, indicating that the princess awaited inside while she and Minor would stand guard outside. Yeyu stepped forward and pushed the door open. Inside, the great Sha princess stood quietly by the window, gazing into the distance. Hearing him, she turned and calmly invited Yu to sit. She apologized for meeting at this hour due to daytime obligations, and Yu politely responded that it was an honor despite her busy schedule. After he sat, the princess poured tea and handed him a prepared letter of introduction detailing instructions to gain assistance. With time before sunset, she invited him to share tea and enjoy the scenery. Yu smiled, expressing his fortune at her invitation and curiosity about her interests, causing the princess to blush slightly. She revealed her family's century-long grand plan requiring exceptional talents and asked whether Yu wished to participate. Yu gently declined, thanking her for the trust but admitting he lacked grand ambitions and feared jeopardizing their plans. As dusk approached, both gazed outside, and the princess softly remarked that the time had come. She expressed regret over their inability to cooperate, but hoped their connection would not end. Intuitively sensing Yi's future greatness, she wished for another chance to meet should circumstances change. She reminded him not to forget the letter of introduction. Suddenly, Yi's expression changed and his eyes widened. Within the enclosed space, system countdown timers rapidly appeared, shocking him as only a brief moment remained. Without hesitation, he stepped forward and firmly grasped the princess' hand. The princess, confused, could only utter a startled cry. Yu tightened his grip, crushing the teacup in his hand. He hurled the shards like lightning toward a suspicious spot, while shouting for the hidden enemy to reveal themselves. Hearing the commotion, Lulinger and Miner rushed in, anxiously calling for the second miss. They froze upon seeing several demon assassins already lying lifeless, while Yu shielded the princess and reassured them that the threat was neutralized. Lulinger was astonished that assassins had infiltrated despite her thorough checks, while Miner realized the battle had ended before they even arrived. The princess then gazed outside and gravely noted that an incident had occurred beyond. Members of the Lu family reassured everyone that the city's grand defensive array was activated and that such demon raids were common, advising relocation to safer areas. Yu shook his head in gratitude but insisted on personally observing the city gate, worrying the princess with his risky decision. He briefly explained that he could not remain idle and departed swiftly, leaving the princess calling after him, while he sensed unease over the absent sect leaders and the suspicious timing of the assassination and siege. Left behind, the princess glanced at the letter with a subtle smile, seemingly recognizing the extraordinary aura of the man who had just departed. Elsewhere, Lu Yi knelt anxiously before someone, insisting he knew nothing of the incident and that the Lu family's deal with the demon clan was only for a small raid in exchange for a staged victory during the trial. He stressed that this larger-scale attack was beyond the agreement and begged for the sect leader's trust, but the person before him remained silent with his back turned. The man finally turned around. It was Ying Chengwu, the Pure World sect leader who acknowledged Lu Yi's loyalty but condemned him for letting demons enter the holy city, violating the sect's founding mission to eradicate all hostile races. He warned Lu Yi that his mistake was trusting demons too deeply, and ordered that the Lu family's dealings with them remain secret, leaving the rest for him to handle, while Lu Yi accepted with a heavy heart. Ying Chengwu added that Ling Yan's matter was even more urgent, but unexpected complications had arisen, making further delay of the sect leader trial impossible. He resolved to demonstrate the Pure World sect's true strength to the demons while eliminating internal threats. In a grave tone, he declared it was time to awaken the Saintess, leaving Lu Yi kneeling in visible unease. Outside the city, shouts and clashes between humans and demons echoed fiercely. Qingcheng soldiers, fully armored, fought desperately to prevent the demon forces from advancing, while the demons pressed forward with savage momentum. Yu hovered in the air, assessing the chaotic battlefield and noting that the Pure World sect's defenses were well organized and holding firm. He wondered whether this was merely another routine raid by nomadic demon tribes, or if his suspicions were justified. At that moment, Yingmo appeared near the battlefield. Yu descended and asked if reinforcements were needed, believing the city guards sufficient, and Yingmo, visibly relieved, greeted him warmly. Yingmo explained that while normal raids required no help, demon infiltrators inside the city had caused chaos, prompting Yingxi to handle internal threats while he guarded the gate, making Yi's presence highly reassuring. Stroking his chin, Yu thoughtfully agreed with Yingxi's judgment and sensed deeper schemes behind the situation. He mused that this might be a rare opportunity for the Ying family to break their current deadlock. Outside, the Pure World sect launched a counterattack as layers of formations activated in succession, intensifying their offensive. Formation firepower erupted, catching the demons off guard as human soldiers charged forward with spears into enemy ranks. Behind them, female formation masters continuously channeled spiritual energy to sustain and amplify the formations. The flames within the formation spread rapidly, growing ever more destructive as they raged. A well-built young woman produced a gourd filled with healing elixirs. She infused it with spiritual energy to restore frontline soldiers and loudly called for a counterattack, instantly boosting morale and rallying unified battle cries. At that moment, a group of cultivators from within the city joined the fight voluntarily, pledging to resist the demons together. The young woman showed gratitude and called for united efforts to destroy the enemy, which the cultivators eagerly echoed. Suddenly, an assailant lunged at her, attempting to snatch the gourd while greedily declaring his desire to taste the elixir first. The formation instantly activated, and blazing flames from the sky engulfed the attacker. However, he revealed his demon form and burst into manic laughter. His body rapidly swelled, clearly showing signs of imminent self-detonation. A thunderous explosion erupted, instantly blanketing the area in a strange, toxic mist. Soldiers began suffering corrosive effects, panicking as they realized the fog was poisonous and urgently called for retreat. The girl raised her gourd and firmly refused to fall back, reminding them the holy city was behind them and that reinforcements were coming, inspiring the troops to hold their ground. Within the dense poisonous fog, a massive silhouette slowly emerged. It charged straight into the formation, and the soldiers were horrified to recognize a vanguard great demon. While continuing to heal, the girl assessed that this was no ordinary raid. The appearance of great demons signaled the main demon army's approach. Glancing at her gourd, she realized the sacred water inside was nearly depleted. Opposite them, several more great demons appeared one after another, their cold gazes locking onto targets. One of them approached her, eyes gleaming with predatory greed. At the critical moment, a sweeping sword key blasted the demon away, sending blood spraying. The attacker was Ying, who stood with a chilling gaze and thundered at the brazen invasion. He pointed his sword forward and ordered the Ying family forces to annihilate all intruders. A warning rang out that demons had infiltrated in disguise, urging everyone to stay vigilant. Ying immediately commanded Ying family members to remove their outer garments for identification and watch for suspicious behavior. Obeying the order, the warriors shed their outerwear and charged into battle, led by Ying Mo. Amid the fighting, a terrified girl ran toward Ying Mo for help, chased by demons. Ying Mo stepped forward to shield her. But as she neared, she revealed her demon form and counterattacked with a smug expression. Before her strike could land, her expression suddenly changed. Ying Mo had remained wary all along. Spotting the anomaly, he reacted instantly with a powerful kick that sent her flying. Onlookers were astonished by his strength, while a hidden demon observer identified him as a core figure of the Ying family. During the battle, Ying suddenly felt droplets splash onto his face and noticed they were water. Sensing danger, he immediately looked back toward a surge of killing intent just as a demon assassin lunged at him. Without hesitation, he turned and delivered a decisive sword strike while demanding the attacker's identity, striking before the demon could react. The fatal slash to the neck killed the assassin instantly, shocking distant observers who recognized him as the demon clan's undefeated silent killer, now slain by Ying. The crowd marveled at the Ying family's might, dismissing past rumors of their weakness and praising their overwhelming strength and swift defense of the holy city, especially as the Lu family had yet to appear. Public opinion rapidly shifted in favor of the Ying family, with some even suggesting they replace the Lu family, all while Yu quietly observed the scene. Listening to the crowd, Yu scanned the surroundings with a faint, satisfied smile. Seeing morale surge, Ying seized the moment and ordered a full-scale assault to crush the demon offensive. The Ying family and Pure World Sect forces charged together, causing the demon ranks to waver and many to flee in panic. Ying Mo calculated that this was a rare chance to elevate the Ying family's prestige, as public support would ease future maneuvering in the trial, while citizens passionately chanted the Ying family's name. A demon spotted distant reinforcements arriving and shouted a warning, but realizing defeat was inevitable, ordered a retreat. Before he could finish speaking, his head was severed. The killer was another demon, who slew his own comrade to restore discipline, forbade retreat, and led a renewed charge. Facing the overwhelming momentum, Ying Mo stood firm, raised his sword, and charged with fierce determination. Just before clashing, the demon suddenly hurled the severed head he carried at Ying Mo. The unexpected move made Ying Mo hesitate for a split second. Seizing the moment, the demon struck head in and blasted him flying backward. Fortunately, Ying arrived in time to catch him, anxiously calling out as Ying Mo, clutching his chest and coughing heavily, warned that the enemy was extremely dangerous. The demon general advanced with crushing pressure, mockingly expressing disappointment in the human's strength. Enraged by the provocation, Ying activated his family's technique and launched a counterattack. The demon responded with equal force, their clash generating a sweeping vortex of energy. Sensing Ying's power, the demon grew interested and concluded he must be a key figure of the Ying family. Declaring Ying his main target, he unleashed a rapid barrage of intricate attacks. Ying struggled to defend, realizing with alarm that the opponent's techniques seemed to counter his own. At that moment, a beam of light descended from above, striking the demon from behind and injuring him. Ying Mo quickly moved to support his father and urged him to retreat, while the ambushed demon roared in fury and searched for the attacker. In the sky, Yu casually tossed a stone and replied with a faint smile, "General, it's me." A demon who had fought Yu before immediately recognized him and shouted that Yu had killed their leader and comrades, vowing revenge. Hearing this, the demon general grew even more enraged, swearing to slaughter the Ying family and the entire city before personally killing Yu. Yu laughed mockingly, recalling how someone once tried to eat him but ended up kneeling, while internally calculating that Ying's defeat would ruin all prior plans. He continued provoking the demon by vividly describing him begging for mercy, causing the crowd to buzz in shock and admiration, recognizing Yu as the one who had defied the Lu family. Yu then taunted that he had no time to wait and pretended to flee, infuriating the demon whose killing intent surged. Without hesitation, the demon chased after him, determined to eliminate Yu first. Having achieved his goal, Yu calculated his next move but realized he had become the center of attention, risking exposure of his identity. He planned to feign weakness, lure the demon to a secluded place, and finish him with a single strike. However, as the demon closed in, Pure World Sect soldiers deployed a formation that blocked his path, yet he continued charging relentlessly. His powerful attack was halted by the defensive barrier, and at that moment, a calm voice behind Yu praised his composure under danger. The speaker was Ying, who arrived with the Pure World Sect's high-ranking members, commended Yu for buying time, and declared they would handle the rest. His appearance thrilled the crowd, as it was rare for the sect leader to take action personally after many years. His cold gaze swept over the demons, his voice dripping with disdain at their audacity to wreak havoc. At that instant, a demon attacking a female cultivator was annihilated in the blink of an eye. The remaining demons looked up in panic, realizing their demonic energy was suppressed and their bodies felt unbearably heavy. The technique spread across the holy city, forming a barrier that restrained all demons within. Ying then took out a gourd and poured out sacred water. He used several more gourds, directing streams of healing water across the battlefield while encouraging the warriors. The wounded recovered rapidly with effects far surpassing ordinary pills. Ying Shi clearly felt his recovery and was deeply impressed, while Ying Mo felt reinvigorated and ready to fight again. The healed soldiers were astonished by their restored condition, their morale soaring even higher. Once everything was stabilized, Ying Chengwu ordered a full-scale assault. Human morale surged instantly while the demon forces began to falter. The demons glanced at each other, fear swelling in their hearts. Their leader, hiding within the city, felt the suppressive force that severely limited his power. Upon spotting an escape route, he immediately moved toward it. Though unwilling and regretful for not killing Ye Yu, he chose to retreat for now. As he fled, he laughed arrogantly, convinced Qingcheng had no worthy foes, and that the arriving demon army would soon flatten everything. The city gates were now tightly shut, with demon corpses scattered everywhere. A voice echoed through the sky, praising the soldiers' bravery in defending the holy city and announcing the enemy's defeat. The atmosphere erupted with cheers as the Pure World sect forces celebrated their victory with renewed fervor. Ying Shi stepped forward to Ying Chengwu, calling the victory a rare miracle and crediting the sect leader as the decisive factor. Ying Chengwu humbly attributed the success to all the soldiers and recalled the catastrophe a century ago when the holy city fell, bringing immense suffering. He stated that holding the city this time was thanks to those who bravely stepped up, such as Ye Yu. He also praised families like the Ying family for charging to the front lines and helping turn the tide. He pointed out that the demons dared to attack again because the sect was missing one sect leader. Declaring the situation urgent, he officially announced that the sect leader trial would begin immediately. The recent battle restored the Ying family's reputation, silencing all internal doubts and clarifying their chances in the competition. Ying Shi then toasted Ye Yu, expressing that today's success owed greatly to his help and thanking him on behalf of the Ying family. Ye Yu humbly replied that he played only a small part and that the true heroes were the frontline warriors, earning even greater admiration, while Jingwin and Shinshui smiled behind him. Ying Shi invited Yu to join the trial as he was now considered a candidate, but Ye Yu declined with a smile, saying he was unsuitable. Ying Shi turned serious, explaining that although the attack was repelled, the demon army was still advancing, so the first trial would be a three-pronged night raid targeting enemy generals. Ye Yu suggested teaming up with Ying Shi, but Ying Shi refused, stressing that the rules required candidates to personally slay their targets before witnesses. Jingwin expressed concern that Ye Yu's fame would overshadow the Ying family's credit and invite obstruction from rivals. Ye Yu simply smiled, indicating he already had a plan. He requested the Ying family help gather certain materials for artifact refining. The scene shifted as Ying Mo led him to the family treasury, filled with rare resources. Everything except sky-mending stones was at his disposal, then waited outside. Ye Yu entered, his gaze sweeping the vast treasure trove as he made a cryptic remark that left Ying Mo puzzled outside. Moving through piles of resources, Ye Yu mentally cataloged treasures like top-grade dragon coil iron, exclusive dragon and sea clan artifacts, 8 tide-calming pearls, and countless refined ores for artifact crafting. His perception shifted as he realized the Ying family's wealth rivaled his own Jushin pavilion in both scale and quality. Surrounded by priceless treasures and trusted alone within, Ye Yu couldn't help but admire the Ying family's generosity. Acknowledging their goodwill, he activated his system, opening the newly unlocked item synthesis interface, which he had recently studied using time fragments despite ongoing turmoil. The system splits craftable gear into reusable items needing rare sky-patching stones and disposable ones that self-destruct after limited use, no refunds, no repairs outside the system, and this is his first DI masterpiece. With anticipation written all over his face, he eagerly prepares to test his true abilities. Outside, Yingmo keeps watch, feeling something odd as the space inside grows eerily quiet. Master Xuan has been inside for ages. The early noises vanished, making Yingmo wonder if he's already deep into cultivation mode. Remembering his father's order that Master Xuan could use all Ying clan resources, Yingmo considers going in since the evening gathering is approaching. Right then, Ye Yu appears and casually teases, "Why the long face plotting world domination?" Startled, Yingmo stammers, mixing up titles, shocked he didn't sense Ye Yu's approach. Ye Yu calmly reveals had been standing beside him for quite a while. Shock floods Yingmo's face at missing someone so close. Just as Ye Yu points ahead and says, "Look over there." Yingmo turns instinctively, but Ye Yu vanishes instantly, leaving him bewildered as if the encounter was a ghostly prank. Yingmo wonders if Master Xuan is still inside, unaware that Ye Yu is right beside him, quietly enjoying the confusion. Hidden behind a mask, Ye Yu evaluates its effectiveness as he stands unnoticed right in front of Yingmo. The Nameless Guardian Star Treasure is a consumable with 9 uses left, lasting 30 minutes per use, recharging in 60 minutes, self-destructing in 7 days, and making the user hilariously easy to ignore unless they do something flashy. Removing the mask, Ye Yu finalizes his plan, now just waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Scene shifts to the Lu clan residence. Lu Shimin slams the table in fury, demanding to know why the Lu clan's juniors weren't allowed to fight. He rants that the Lu clan's warriors are no weaker than the Ying clans and fumes that the city now mocks them as cowards, insisting they should have charged out and stolen the spotlight. Lu Yi calmly joins in, signaling agreement with Lu Shimin's frustration. He warns that if the demon faction exposed the Lu clan on the spot, total annihilation would have been inevitable. Despite the Ying clan's rising fame, Lu Yi isn't worried, believing leadership must be earned through merit and that the situation would flip if their rival falters. Catching the implication, Lu Shimin cuts to the chase, demanding a straightforward explanation. A sly smile appears on Lu Yi's lips as he reveals his reinforcements are still hidden, and tonight the Ying clan leader won't leave Sacred City unscathed. He plots that once Ying Shi dies, the chief position will be his, and the Lu clan can swallow the Ying clan to reclaim past glory. Night falls as the Demon Alliance camp brims with tension, guards everywhere and cold winds adding spooky ambience. Opposite them, the Jingshi sect maintains tight defenses, leaving no room for sneaky business. In the Ying residence, Ying Shi and his allies finalize a one-shot plan where failure is not an option. He arranges ambushes on both flanks, planning to exploit the chaos from a frontal assault to sneak in and assassinate the demon leader. If the main target escapes, eliminating high-ranking demon generals will still throw the enemy into delightful disarray. Suddenly, news arrives about the fierce morning battle at the city gate and that the clan leader was injured. Lu Yi and his son enter, politely offering Lu clan warriors support in the name of the sect's greater good. Ying Shi coldly mocks them, saying the Ying clan needs no help from those who hid during battle and asking if they came just to waste air. Lu Yi shifts his gaze to Yeyu, revealing him as the true focus of their visit. His eyes gleam with hidden schemes, a calculating smile curling on his lips. Lu Shimin presents a treasure sword as Lu Yi emphasizes Yeyu's importance and offers the weapon as an apology and goodwill gesture. Yeyu accepts calmly despite Ying Mo's warning about Lu clan treachery, joking he only wants the scabbard, then later wonders about their real motive. After leaving, Lu Shimin whispers a question, and Lu Yi responds confidently, clearly convinced everything is going according to plan. Once the Ying clan's road is confirmed, Lu Yi prepares to tip off the demons, determined to ensure they never return. The moment arrives, and Yeyu sets out with the group to execute their mission. Spotting the escort already battling demons ahead, Ying Shi urges everyone to speed up. Suddenly, a demon beast launches a surprise attack straight at Ying Shi. At the critical moment, Yeyu appears like a hero on cue and blocks the strike. The attacker halts and shouts warily, demanding Yeyu's identity. The demon retreats slightly, acknowledging Ye's strength and noting his fallen brother died by worthy hands. Recognizing the enemy, Ying Shi erupts in anger, vowing that the three of them will finish him off this time. The foe laughs arrogantly, introduces himself as Kong Lang clan general Ji Biao, and summons a horde of redade demons to surround them. Ji Biao taunts them to try killing him as Yeyu quickly realizes they've walked straight into a well-prepared demon ambush. Ji Biao laughs menacingly, recalls past grudges, and unleashes a terrifying surge of power like a crashing tide. The air twists with violent winds, yet Yeyu stands unfazed like he's waiting for a bus. With a thunderous roar, Ji Biao unleashes his supernatural technique. Darkness engulfs the surroundings, but Yeyu remains calm while Ying Mo starts to visibly panic. Ye's senses are nearly stripped away, no sight, sound, smell, or airflow, his energy suppressed and perception shrunk to a tiny bubble, as if drifting in endless void. Despite the darkness, killing intent seeps from every direction like an all-you-can-eat buffet of danger. A sneak attack strikes, but Yeyu casually lifts his sword and shuts it down like swatting a fly. The attacker, Ji Biao, speaks with smug confidence, convinced resistance is pointless. He presses the assault on Yeyu, who defends while calmly analyzing the move's threat level. In Ye's mind, however, the ending is already spoiler alert obvious. With a thought, he summons the system, scanning countdown-filled interfaces and deciding the quickest solution is to defeat the demon general. Most moving targets in the darkness are demon bandits, while the interface shows ticking timers 2 minutes, 3 minutes like a deadly stopwatch. Amid the chaos, Yeyu deduces Ying Shi is in grave danger, with survival measured in mere breaths. Without hesitation, he dashes to assist, shouting for Ying Shi to hold on. Pushing his movement technique to the limit, Yeyu becomes a blur and crosses the battlefield in an instant. Upon arrival, he instantly locks onto his target. Furious, Ji Biao spins to attack, but his fierce strike is effortlessly blocked by Yeyu. Yeyu smiles slightly and says, "Want to know who I am? Then watch closely." His aura surges as he steps into the Hida realm, and with a single strike, he sends Ji Biao flying with a pained cry. Shock grips Ji Biao as he realizes he gravely underestimated Yeyu, who is far stronger than a mere Hashin realm cultivator. Before the thought finishes, Yeyu closes in and unleashes a decisive punch. Too fast to react, Ji Biao is hit head-on, the force crashing into him like thunder. Blood sprays as he realizes direct confrontation is now a losing game. Desperate, he charges at Ying Shi to take someone down with him, but with only seconds left on his timer, Yeyu shouts to stop him. In the next instant, the system's countdown hits 0. The surrounding barrier collapses, revealing a scene that stuns both Yeyu and Ying Mo. Ahead, Ying Shi has already impaled Ji Biao with his sword, then swiftly beheads him to seal the deal. Seeing their general fall, the remaining demons panic and scatter like startled pigeons. Ying Shi raises the severed head and declares victory, igniting morale and battle spirit across the field. Yeyu notices the fallen victim was just an ordinary Ying clan warrior, and remarks that Ying Xi's luck is impressive, as he did all he could and left the rest to fate. Ying Shi recalls the entire ordeal from being trapped in darkness to fierce combat and near death, followed by the enemy's sudden, grievous retreat. That brief window was enough to turn the tide and exhaust a demon general, making Ye's strength seem unfathomable to him. Ying Shi concludes that befriending Yeyu is a priceless gain for the Ying clan, watching him chat with Ying Mo in a noticeably relaxed atmosphere. Suddenly, a distant signal flare catches everyone's attention. Ying Shi instantly recognizes it as the Lu clan's distress signal, and his expression changes dramatically. Turning to Yeyu, he asks for help, prompting Yeyu to question why they should aid a rival clan. Ying Shi explains gravely that the signal is used only in life-or-death situations despite competing for the chief position. The Lu clan would ask for help unless truly desperate, and if their clan leader falls, the entire sect could descend into chaos. Before finishing his sentence, Ying Shi suddenly coughs up a dramatic mouthful of blood. He quickly wipes it away and insists he hopes the trial decides victory peacefully, not through a family bloodbath. Realizing he can't hold on much longer, Yingshi humbly asks Yu for help, knowing only his capable, while Yu pauses to think. Yu ultimately agrees and deduces on the way that if the powerful Lu clan is in trouble, they've likely walked into an ambush. Just then, a familiar furious voice nearby erupts, accusing someone of betrayal. Not far ahead, Yu spots demon beasts tightly surrounding Lu Yi and Lu Shimin. Cornered, Lu Shimin panics while Lu Yi maintains composure, threatening the demons with his status as clan leader. Xiang Qihan responds with icy disdain and casually stomps on Lu Yi like he's squashing a bug. Desperate, Lu Yi switches to negotiation mode, claiming friendly ties with the demons and offering generous benefits for his life. He even proposes trading crucial resources, shocking Lu Shimin, who objects fiercely, but Lu Yi keeps pitching himself as a valuable insider worth sparing. Unmoved, Xiang Qihan presses harder, making Lu Yi scream as his bones crack audibly. In a cold tone, Xiang Qihan exposes Lu Yi's entire scheme using the demons for power, then planning to purge them afterward. Exposed, Lu Yi's face changes drastically as he hurriedly tries to deny everything. Xiang Qihan, who despises traitors, refuses to listen, while Lu Shimin trembles in terror under demon control. Lifting Lu Shimin effortlessly, Xiang Qihan speaks cruelly, treating humans as mere prey. He taunts him further, savoring their fear and revealing he has been lying in wait all along. His eyes gleam greedily as he reveals his true target, the saintess of the Jingshi sect, leaving Lu Shimin utterly stunned. Helpless in Xiang Qihan's grip, Lu Shimin faces a gruesome fate as the demon opens his mouth to devour him. At that critical moment, Yu arrives like a high-speed hero with sword in hand. Wearing his newly crafted mask, he thrusts his sword straight into Xiang Qihan's head, sending blood flying. The intensified force makes Xiang Qihan roar in pain and drop Lu Shimin, who nearly faints as he plummets. Yu catches him and retreats swiftly, realizing the attack barely pierced the demon's natural defenses, prove the foe is far stronger than expected, and rescue alone was the safe play. Xiang Qihan roars as murderous intent erupts like a volcanic tantrum. He slams the ground with both hands, unleashing a devastating shockwave that shatters the terrain and blasts even his allies away. Yu deftly dodges the incoming shockwave like a pro gamer, sidestepping an ultimate attack. He tosses Lu Shimin to safety and skids across the ground to stabilize himself. As Xiang Qihan approaches menacingly, Yu realizes his flashy move has cancelled the mask's stealth effect. Removing the mask, he is instantly recognized by Lu Shimin and calmly tells him to protect himself. Yu then declares hell, stop holding back, as his aura surges dramatically. His gaze turns icy as he locks onto his target and declares, "Demon scum, I'm here for you." Xiang Qihan's aura rises in response, matching the challenge without a hint of fear. With a thunderous stomp that cracks the ground and flings Lu Yi aside, Xiang Qihan gathers a crackling sphere of lightning in his hand. As the lightning attack forms, Yu charges forward simultaneously, launching his counteroffensive. Lightning tears through the air, devastating everything in its path like nature throwing a tantrum. Unfazed, Yu blitzes forward in an instant, closing in for the attack. His strike descends with enough power to flatten the surrounding area. But at the last moment, he restrains himself, realizing that without his sect's ultimate technique, breaking the evenly matched foe's defense is unlikely. Since this is the battle's hotspot and the distress signal is out, Jingshi sect observers may be nearby. Revealing his identity now would ruin everything. Seeing Yu hesitate, Xiang Qihan sneers with mocking disdain. He immediately throws a punch packed with overwhelming force. Yu leaps skyward to evade, his movement technique shifting fluidly like a phantom. He quickly concludes that prolonging the fight risks both the hostage and his own life, while Xiang Qihan also gauges Yi's strength. Intrigued and ruthless, Xiang Qihan reveals his tribulation-crossing realm cultivation, his aura turning even more oppressive. Shocked by the gap, Yu plans to find an opening, unleash a decisive blow, and retreat instantly. Suddenly, a formation appears, trapping both of them inside. Yu recognizes its origin and grows suspicious about being included, while Xiang Qihan merely laughs, unimpressed by the restraint. A dazzling light begins forming in the sky. Both look up, confusion evident in their eyes. A figure emerges midair, instantly drawing Yu's attention. Beneath the veil is a refined face with clear, resolute eyes. Yu immediately identifies her. He recalls that when the Saintess descends, it signals the emergence of the Jingshi sect's most dangerous enemy. The Jingwo Saintess has arrived, the emissary bearing divine will. Lu Shimin regains consciousness, panicking in terror as he fears seeing the Saintess means death is imminent. In stark contrast, Xiang Qihan is thrilled, shouting for his subordinates as if his prized prey has finally appeared. Behind the Jingwo Saintess, rings of radiant light begin rotating in the sky. The rings converge rapidly, forming a massive fireball. Countless smaller fireballs split off and rain down like a fairy apocalypse. The demon beasts below are overwhelmed, fleeing in panic as screams echo everywhere. In moments, a vast area is engulfed in flames and reduced to ashes, leaving Lu Shimin horrified. Amid the chaos, Yu swiftly pulls Lu Shimin out of danger. He vaults over a massive obstacle to find cover. Upon landing, he quickly directs Lu Shimin to a safer spot. Above, the relentless rain of fire continues to incinerate everything below. The intense heat spreads, noticeably affecting even their hiding place. Across the battlefield, Xiang Qihan looks stunned to realize the flames do not affect him. He roars in fury, murderous intent surging toward the Saintess. Opening his mouth wide, he gathers crackling lightning, the energy building to terrifying levels. High above, the Jingho Saintess remains serene and indifferent. Xiang Qihan unleashes a colossal bolt of lightning straight into the sky. The lightning obliterates everything along its path like a rampaging dragon of destruction. The attack hits its mark, shocking Yu as he watches from afar. Yet when the light fades, the Saintess remains completely unharmed. She immediately retaliates, multiple formations appearing behind her, ready to unleash torrents of flame. Xiang Qihan is shaken, unable to comprehend why his power had zero effect. The formations activate in unison, unleashing a cataclysmic downpour of fire. The ground erupts in continuous explosions, vast areas flattened into ruin. Observing closely, Yu concludes that each of the Saintess attacks rivals Zhang Kehan's full power, and even fully prepared, he could only withstand a few strikes at best. Louis struggles over to his son, calling anxiously and visibly relaxes upon seeing Lu Shimin still alive. He then turns to Yu, proposing cooperation and stressing that the Saintess appearance means a kill order is in effect. He explains the area is a near inescapable formation set by the sect leader, and the Saintess' existence is secret because no witness survives knowledge he gained by rare chance, with an escape plan prepared. He produces a teleportation artifact that needs time to activate, but offers their only shot at survival once ready. At that moment, another elite demon squad tracks them down. Yu signals for silence while Louis notes their high rank. Lowering his voice, Louis admits past mistakes and begs Yu to lure the demons away to buy time, their only hope. Yu doesn't answer immediately, falling into thoughtful silence. He then takes out the mask, makes his decision, and tells them to prepare quickly. A demon beast suddenly detects something odd and grows suspicious. It mutters in confusion at sensing human presence without pinpointing it. Unaware, Yu stands right behind it in stealth. In a flash, Yu strikes and vanishes, leaving a faint groan. The demons become alert, detect traces, and shout directions as human aura briefly leaks. From the thick fog, a blade suddenly slashes through the air. The strike targets the Jingwo Saintess formation but rebounds harmlessly, as if hitting an indestructible wall. The incident immediately draws the Saintess' attention. Her gaze fixes on that direction, silently observing and analyzing. Below, the demons fall into chaos, frantically searching and shouting to avoid losing the target. Suddenly, an attack descends from above, perfectly timed to strike the pursuing demons. Caught off guard, one demon panics and orders a retreat while the true culprit slips away unnoticed. Yu eliminates another demon in passing and retreats quickly, knowing his mass time is running out and lingering means danger. He accelerates away, hoping the Lu clan hasn't caused any complications. Elsewhere, Lu Shimin anxiously urges his father to speed up the ritual. Lu Yi remains calm and confident, cryptically referencing the sect leader's methods. He coldly reveals that anyone facing the Saintess is doomed, and he never intended to take Yu along, only to use him as bait to extend their survival. Lu Shimin is stunned, unable to believe the man who saved him was sacrificed by his own father. On the battlefield, Zhang Kehan roars in fury upon realizing his subordinates have been scattered. A storm of lightning forms in the sky above the Jingwo Saintess. Zhang Kehan unleashes a devastating blow that crushes the ground and seems to tear space itself. After intense clashes, the lightning gradually dissipates. Only a blazing inferno remains at the center. As the flames subside, the Saintess figure reappears clearly before him. She is completely unscathed. Standing amid the sea of fire, flames swirl around her like a regal cloak. Zhang Kehan looks up in irritation at her persistent aerial advantage. As she descends, he grows suspicious that despite constant attacks, her aura hasn't weakened at all. Without hesitation, he condenses an even more powerful sphere of lightning. Fueled by rage, he unleashes a full-power, devastating attack. Facing it, the Saintess remains perfectly calm, making no unnecessary movements. Before her, layers of formations appear in succession, forming an impregnable barrier. With a casual gesture, the formations unleash flames that slam head-on into the incoming attack. The collision triggers violent shockwaves that send everyone scrambling, while Yu strains to withstand the pressure. A spear appears in Yi's hand, and he casually swats away fleeing demon beasts like pesky flies. Across the field, Zhang Kehan begins to struggle, realizing he can't overpower his opponent. He concludes her strength seems limitless, launching relentless attacks without any sign of fatigue. If the fight drags on, he knows he'll be the one exhausted first. Meanwhile, the Saintess' eyes remain hollow, as if controlled by a higher will. Every attack aimed at her is effortlessly neutralized. Refusing to accept this, Zhang Kehan charges in, weapon closing in on its target. Lightning gathers around him again, preparing a decisive strike. The Jingwo Saintess' gaze shifts slightly, instantly locking onto him. A swift kick halts his attack, tearing his arm apart as blood sprays and he screams in agony. Staring at her unmoving figure, dread fills him. Despite divine beast protection and a powerful physique, he could withstand even one strike. The Saintess presses the attack and Zhang Kehan, clutching his severed arm, flees in panic. Formations bloom beneath her feet one after another. Countless flames shoot toward the fleeing Zhang Kehan, who realizes in terror he cannot fight this monstrously abnormal girl. Her energy shows no decline. Long-range attacks rival the Hidao realm, while close combat easily pierces top-tier defenses. Retreating, he orders the demons to surround her and buy time, convinced he still has a way out and determined not to die here. Looking up, he notices the sect leader's formation. Suppressing energy escaping weakens him, but breaking it would surely be stopped by her. A thought strikes him: the scheming Lu Yi must have prepared an escape route. He immediately turns his gaze toward the boulder, where Lu Yi and Lu Shimin are hiding. Lu Yi is straining to activate the teleportation array when a sudden backlash causes intense pain, making him groan as Lu Shimin panics beside him. Lu Yi reveals it's Zhang Kehan's curse. Once afflicted, one is controlled for life. The demon had planned to use his son's life to force him into becoming a puppet spy. Lu Shimin anxiously asks how to break it, but Lu Yi replies grimly, "This is the price I must pay." He hands over the teleportation artifact, saying it only needs a bit more energy to activate. Lu Yi decides to sever ties with the demons now, drawing attention himself so his son can escape the moment the artifact activates. He instructs Lu Shimin to align fully with the Jingshi sect to rebuild the Lu clan and warns never to bring Wu Qiushi back, lest it anger the sect leader and expose the Saintess' secret. Hearing this, Lu Shimin is left shaken and mentally overwhelmed. After finishing his instructions, Louis steps out and shouts defiantly, challenging the demons to die with him. Elsewhere, Yu sweeps his spear, clearing out the remaining demons with flair. Yanjing quietly realizes the mask effect has expired. The Jingwo Saintess continues unleashing indiscriminate attacks, her gaze eventually locking onto Yu. An attack immediately targets him. Yanjing grips his spear tightly, positioning it behind him and preparing to take the blow head-on. The two attacks collided with a boom as Lu Shimin clutched the artifact, smugly noting the power-up was complete. He resolved that the Lu family would walk the righteous path. Ditching a lifesaver was not CEO material. "Wukushi, the artifact is ready! Get over here!" he shouted, confident the guy wasn't dying today. Xiang Qihan, gripping Louis like a prized chicken, laughed triumphantly, thrilled the Lu family had a backup plan. He immediately ordered his troops to go Alan, consequences be damned, to seize the artifact. Right then, Yu popped in dramatically and skewered Shangqian with a spear, earning a blood-soaked scream. Seizing the moment, Yu snatched Louis back and dashed to Lu Shimin, yelling for him to activate the artifact and scram. Lu Shimin didn't hesitate and promptly fired up the artifact. A teleportation gate materialized and he urgently waved Yu over like a last call at a bar. Yu sprinted toward the opening portal with everything he had. Upon reaching it, he grabbed Lu Shimin's hand without missing a beat. In a blink, the trio vanished into the portal, leaving Shang Qihan fuming in their dust. At that moment, Jingwo Shengnan appeared behind him, and realizing her presence, he roared in furious frustration. Outside, the Jeju stood atop a tower, calmly observing the entire spectacle from afar. He remarked coolly that the Lu family wasted their chance, but Wu Kaoshi, on the other hand, showed intriguing potential.